Hi, I'm Yannick Hanfman.
I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Dennis Kudla.
This is Sebastian Wolfner.
It's Marc-Andrea Whistler.
I am Francisco Cerundolo.
And you're listening to the Game to Love podcast. Hopefully you enjoy it.
Hopefully.
The epic final, Novak Djokovic, Carlos Alcaraz. We saw it in Wimbledon and we're going to get it at the US Open. He's going to be able to handle a situation in a Grand Slam final against Djokovic because he's beaten him in one. I'm going for Carlos Alcaraz.
The main man, the number 24, Novak Djokovic. US Open time, baby! Let's go! Goff could be our US Open champion.
3-set final in which Iga wins. Near impossible that Djokovic doesn't make the final.
Novak Djokovic claiming his 24th Grand Slam title. On the women's side, going past bingo.
No surprise here. I think that Novak Djokovic will win this year's US Open, and Coco Gauff is going to be the American that wins it on the women's side.
That Novak Djokovic will win this Grand Slam, beating Alcaraz in the final. I believe that Sabalenka is going to ace up this Grand Slam.
Sabalenka and Djokovic taking it.
Novak Djokovic will have as many Grand Slams as there are hours in the day. Ons Jabeur is going to do it. I really believe. I think Ons has learned from her mistakes.
Novak Djokovic is going to win the US Open.
Aryna Sabalenka is winning her second Grand Slam. Carlos Alcaraz is going back-to-back. He's going to defend his US Open title.
Coco Gauff on home soil is taking home the cake. Gauff will win.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Game to Love Tennis Podcast live stream. I am your host for today. I go by the name of Covey, and I'm chilling here in Vancouver, BC, Canada, where it's 9:11 a.m. Over in New York City, it's 12:11 p.m., just afternoon. Arthur Ashe Stadium, world number one. He won't be after the tournament no matter what happens. But as of now, Carlos Alcaraz is the world number one, facing the 26th seeded former British number one, Dan Evans. Head-to-head battle between these two. Alcaraz has won all four sets. They met in Vienna 2 years ago. Alcaraz was 18 years old. That was a hard court. Alcaraz won that. I believe it was 6-3, 6-4 or 6-4, 6-3. And then they also met in Madrid earlier this year in April, and that was Alcaraz winning 2-2 on his way to second straight Madrid 1000 Masters title. So there's your setup, folks. Should be a good one. No clouds in the sky. Arthur Ashe Stadium, the roof is open. Right now, about 60% of the court is in the sun, and about 40% of it is shaded. So I'm not sure who. Oh, it looks like Alcaraz will start on the sunny side. So yeah, how is everyone doing? So good to see you from wherever you may be. I do have my buddy from Mumbai in the house saying hello. Could not watch earlier rounds. How is Carlos playing so far? Rusty like Cincinnati, or in the form is better? Also, how are these courts slower than Cincinnati? I believe people are saying that these are slower courts than normal, but they're still pretty quick, I would say. Greetings, Covey. I'm just here for the upset. A man can dream. Todd Hill hoping for an Alcaraz loss, it looks like. To answer your question, Daria, he's playing well. He's been sharper from the beginning, unlike the first four rounds in Cincinnati, where he went the distance in all four matches leading up to the final, where he lost, of course, to Novak Djokovic. So here we go, folks. Dan Evans with the ball in racket to start it off. And yeah, he's going to be serving. Here we go. First serve, first point of the match. First serve is long. After this point, folks, we're going to get into some predictions. And so I need to know what you guys think. Also, folks, if you haven't done so already, please. Oh, Alcaraz with a nice return. Evans with his +1 goes into the net. So Alcaraz takes point number one in the match. Folks, let me know who you think is going to win and what the score is going to be, or how many sets, however you'd like to do it. And I'll tell you mine as well. And it's an ace up the tee. We're at level at 15 all here in the very first game of the match. So predictions. I, of course, no surprise here, going with Alcaraz. I don't know if it's going to be a 3 or 4. I think in the end, I'm going to say it's going to be a 3-setter. Alcaraz has had a pretty simple time against Dan Evans, and he seems to lift his game up in the big majors. So, yeah, I'm going to say Alcaraz in straight sets, but I don't think it's going to be a straightforward straight sets. I don't think it's going to be super easy. Evans takes point number 3. It's 30-15. Let me know what y'all think. Ooh, one of my homies is in the house. His name is GSL, Gary Saint Laurent, with some Canadian roots. Cubby just saying hello and giving you a like. I have to watch the tennis on tape delay today, so can't follow live. By the way, why does the world still say tape? Yeah, that's actually a good point, Gary. It's all about the MP3s and the streams and the this and that. But you know what? I like when you say tape because it just reminds me of when I was a kid and I actually used to tape stuff with VHS. Alcaraz takes point number 4. Is nice return up the middle. Evans tries to go serve and volley, but Alcaraz says, you gave me a short ball. Not a good time to come in. Alcaraz goes past him on the inside out from the middle there. So good start for both players. Greetings, Gary. Enjoy the matches, says Todd. Madison Keys will win, says Kevin Nix. All right, we got a prediction for the women's side. Thank you very much, Kevin. Gerald Aruna, how are you, my friend? Been a minute since I've seen your name in here. Carlos in straight sets. We got Todd Hill saying Alcaraz is going to take it in 4. 3-4 is going to lose 7-6 in a tiebreak and then come back, take the 4th set 6-2. You as well, Todd. Sorry, we're missing each other. Gary, hope you are relieved. Just saw highlights of Djokovic's last match. Do you think he purposely lost first 2 sets just to get practice? After all, some same countrymen. Oh, yeah, fellow countrymen. I mean, I definitely don't think... Oh, it's a breakpoint opportunity here, but a good serve out wide from Dan Evans, and the backhand from Alcaraz goes into the net. Dan Evans racing over to the Evian water box because he knows he only has 25 seconds mid-game. I don't know what he left in there. Maybe like a wristband or something. I don't know. It was kind of funny. I literally have no idea. He just literally raced over to the water cooler behind his bench, but he's there. He's ready. Not exploiting the top the shot clock. So here we go. Dan Evans serving at deuce. So Alcaraz trying to break early here. It's really hard for me to see, you guys, because I can barely see Dan Evans. He's in the dark part of the court, and it's just really, I can't see the ball basically half the time. Dan Evans with his 3rd shot is a forehand that goes long. Break point opportunity for Alcaraz for already the 2nd time. Let me see. Maybe if I increase my screen brightness, that'll help. Let's see. Yes, that helps tremendously. Breakpoint number 2 for Carlitos. Jerry was pushing Novak around early, unexpected. Yeah, you know, I actually, it's the second Novak was down 2 sets to love, I went on the betting sites because I was like, okay, I'm going to put money because I still believe that there was really no chance for Jerry. I just don't. I just never did. I know if you're a big fan of Novak, most like the diehards are like, oh, this is nerve wracking because in the moment it is for sure. But no, Laszlo Jerry is not going to beat Novak. Anyways, Novak was still favored even when he was down 6-4, 6-4. So I was like, well, I'm not going to put money now because it's pretty much just, I put down $100, I win like 113. I was like, not really worth it. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, but a little bit of a scare for sure for Novak. Pulls through. It was kind of like, it reminded me of the match against Jannik Sinner last year at Wimbledon, where the first 2 sets was one story, and then the last 3 sets, it was like a different match where it was just like, Novak was like, okay, time to pull up the bootstraps, and he did. Hey, Covey and GTL fam, welcome Peaches, who's been over at the New York Flushing Meadows tournament here. I don't know why I'm calling it that. It's called the U.S. Open. Greetings, Peaches. Taria, no, that wasn't the plan. I felt that somehow he would roar back. Jerry was lights out in sets 1-2, Novak in sets 3-5. Beating Novak in a slam is still the ultimate challenge. So how much you won on betting side? I didn't win because I said, even though Novak was down 2 sets to love, the betting odds were still in his favor. Like all the bettors were like, Novak's still winning this. So If Jere went up a break by any chance even though he lost like 1-1 and 3 or something in the last 3. Anyways, I actually crazy point going on, and Alcaraz breaks finally. Alcaraz chases down a drop shot, goes cross court redrop. Evans tried to make it to that extra ball, but it was not up. The umpire called that the ball was not struck before the second bounce, and Alcaraz starts off the match with a break. Peaches hi to Todd. Got up to watch Sabalenka, made a cup of tea and missed it. Yeah. Some quick stuff going on there. Here we go for Carlito. The fake from Alcaraz, though, oh, man. So Evans dropped him. Alcaraz came up, and he looked like he was going to hit a forehand, but he actually just hit like a slice drop from the sideline, from his right sideline, cross court. So he totally fooled Evans there. Very, very, again, Alcaraz, we all know, has very high spatial and tennis IQ. So he often puts the ball like, behind players when it's like everyone in the stadium thinks he's going right. He'll go left type of thing. So yeah, very good display of that IQ just now. Was at the Saba match. She played lights out, says Peaches. Let me see. Let me look at that. Sabalenka, 1-1 double breadstick against Burrell of France. So Sabalenka cruising along in just 1 hour and 1 minute, 61 minutes it took her. And now she will be into the round of 16. All right, Alcaraz up 15 love. First serve goes long. Here comes the second serve. Again, folks, so now Alcaraz, they just switched over. Alcaraz is now in the shady part, and it's now about, return long from Evans. Alcaraz now up 30. Now the court is about 75% light and 25% shaded. Alcaraz is in the shady part. Tsitsipas and Runa both fired their coaches. Did Tsitsipas fire? I know he fired, quote unquote, fired his dad and went with Philippoussis, but has he gotten rid of Philippoussis since then? That would be interesting. Later, everyone. Hopefully I'll catch up by not watching commercials and be back. You got it, Gary. Have a good one, buddy. I know, Saturdays got some duties to do, but do your thing, and hopefully we'll see you later. Take care, Gare, says Todd. Oh, before I go, I am right that Saba has her biomechanical coach here. Am I right that Saba has her biomechanical coach here in New York? If so, everyone had better duck. I meant that in a good way. I believe that fellow is Canadian as well. So not to toot my own horn as a Canadian, because I had nothing to do with her serving prowess. But it's nice to see Canadians doing well, especially when it's not happening on court. No Bianca. Fernandez is out. Of course, Felix upset in the first round, even though he really hasn't been playing well at all in the last 4 months. And also Chapo didn't even play the tournament, although his new fiance did, the Swede Miriam Bjorklund, but she lost as well. Predictions, thoughts on Zverev Dimitrov? I'm going to go with Zverev in that one, and I think it will be, I'm going to say 4 sets. 4 sets to Zverev there. Alcaraz 40-15. Second serve is a good one. Nice backhand chip return from Evans. Alcaraz had a short ball backhand for a +1, but he misses that. Goes into the net. 40-30. Still game point for the current, but will not be after the tournament, world number 1. So if you guys are wondering why that is, it's because Djokovic did not play in the U.S. last year. So every point he gets is a point that's added. He's not losing any points, whereas Alcaraz, of course, won it last year. So if he wins the tournament, he can only be at the amount of points he had at the start of the tournament, if that makes any sense. Because you lose the 2,000 because it's a year the points come off. But if he were to win it again, he'd get back up to where he was. So and Djokovic is already ahead of him on the strength of that Cincinnati victory. And Alcaraz holds, folks, and it's a consolidation quick start for Carlitos up 2-love. All right, here's Dan Evans, 33-year-old, as mentioned earlier, former British world number 1. And first serve is good. Nice return up the middle. Now forehand Evans to the backhand Alcaraz. Up the middle. Forehand Evans. Backhand Alcaraz. Forehand Evans. And now forehand Alcaraz up the line. Backhand Evans. And Alcaraz with a beautiful half volley off the shoelaces. And the ball went over the net and died just enough where Dan Evans could not chase it down. A lovely show of the soft hands and touch. Actually, sorry, that was in the dark part of the court. It wasn't actually a half volley. I think he actually volleyed that very low. It was right at the shoelaces. Very nice shot there from Alcaraz. So the soft game right now for Alcaraz, he's already had 2 very nice finesse shots. So the touch is working for Carlitos. Love 15 here. First serve into the net. Here comes the second. SWL, is that Suwon Lim? Tell me that's Suwon Lim. I'm drinking coffee. I'm drinking Folgers. Folgers, that stuff, the instant coffee. I know a lot of people are like, are you kidding me? Hello, Tunis. How are you? Hi, friend. Hope you're enjoying your weekend so far. I am. Yeah, I played a bunch of pickleball yesterday. Had a great day. Watched some U.S. Open tennis. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make it for the first beginning of the Novak match, or else I would have called that match. But okay, Alcaraz here. Alcaraz had a short ball, so Dan Evans comes in serve and volley, and his volley was super short, and it was a sitter. Alcaraz just ripped it to his forehand, and Evans could not control that. Goes into the net, and it's a triple break point. Alcaraz 12 minutes in, trying to take a 3-love lead. Attendance records at this year's U.S. Open, I'm shouting from the rooftops. Gary has been the biggest advocate there is in letting us know that the U.S. Open is killing it, and I appreciate that, Gary, as always. SWL saying hello, hi, Covey and all. Hello, Snail, how you doing, buddy? What are you drinking? I'm drinking the coffee, bud. It's lovely to watch such touches from Carlos. Yeah, he's looking, sometimes. Oh, Alcaraz tried to, Dan Evans again comes forward to the net. Alcaraz from the baseline, from about 10 feet behind the baseline, tried to lob over him, but that one was long by about 4 feet. Still 2 more breakpoint opportunities in the bag here for Alcaraz if he needs them. Dan Evans, of course, has the old one-handed backhand, one of the rare few left in the game. First serve. Dan Evans again was about to serve and volley. He served out wide and was going to volley. But now on the second serve, will he do the same? I'm not sure. Let's find out. Gene, what's going on, my friend? Gene had a little bit of a heart attack when Novak was down 2-0. Wow, big second serve there from Dan Evans. Alcaraz takes a stab at it. It was a serve up the tee, 110 mile an hour. That's funny. His first serve was 112. His second serve was 110. So 2 break points saved, 1 more still, however, for Dan Evans to save if he is to get out of this game on top. Let's see. First serve. Nice one out wide. Alcaraz return up the middle. Dan Evans comes to serve and volley, the backhand volley, but Alcaraz passes him up the forehand, up the line on the forehand, and it's a double break already. Alcaraz 3-love real quick, just 15 minutes in. Snail saying, Covey, before this match even started, honestly, I knew Evans is specifically an easy matchup for Carlos as per style of play. Yeah, Alcaraz has won all 4 sets they've played. He's won 3, 4, 2, and 2. Two of those sets were in Vienna 2 years ago when Alcaraz was an 18-year-old kid on hard courts, and the other 2 were in Madrid this year in March. Gene saying, what a stressful morning it has been, speaking about the Novak match there. Anyone giving Stan a shot against Sinner? No, I'm not either, unfortunately. I think Stan is actually really good at the beginnings of tournaments when he's fresh. but it's a little bit tougher. And he's also facing Sinner, who's been playing really well. So I'm going to give that to Sinner. Greetings, Gene. SWL, the Nole Jerry match was insane. Nole had momentum going into the match with great form and dominant wins. Then Jerry took the first 2 sets. That's what he did. I didn't expect Jerry to redline like that. Yeah, for sure. The only thing is like if someone's redlining, like, and they don't normally, you know, they're not of that pedigree, then it's really hard to sustain it for 3 full sets. Hey Todd, says Gene. Vamos Carlos, says Idemo Lady. Welcome, Idemo. Alexander Laurence, hello. Folks, if you haven't done so, please consider hitting that like button on the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and then hit that notification bell so you can join us every single time we go live, which is going to be every single day for the rest of this tournament. Yes, every single day. I think that match is the perfect one to test his mental resilience. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we all know Novak's mental resilience is pretty much the greatest that we've ever seen on a tennis court. But it's always good to sharpen it up. So I agree with you there. Hi, Gene. Hi, Idemo. Hey, Idemo. All right, Alcaraz serving up 3-love, and Dan Evans on his second shot is a backhand that goes long. So Dan Evans, folks, is definitely not looking very sharp. Alcaraz looking pretty sharp and has had a couple of really smooth points, finesse points using the soft touch. So you can tell that his finesse game, his confidence is looking pretty sharp to start. Good serve up the tee. Dan Evans cannot return that. Goes into the net, and it's now 30-love real quick. So Alcaraz looking to make short work potentially of this first set. Not to speak too soon about what's going to happen, but the way it's panning out so far, looks like Alcaraz is on the front foot. Evans on his heels. Another return long from Evans. So Alcaraz just really easy free points here, 40-love. What was that from Jerry? Like crazy, couldn't stop hitting winners in the first 2 sets. Couldn't believe it. He honestly reminded me of Alcaraz a little bit. The way that his forehand was, he was just like ahead. You know, like it's hard to be ahead of Novak's shots, but he was like a step ahead. It felt like, and then he was on his front foot. But yeah, I just couldn't sustain it, bro. Jerry gave me 950. I bet hell 2 sets. I wanted to bet, but for me on my betting site, Novak was still the favorite when he was down 2 sets to love. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to put money on it. Hey, Snahill, for real, Snahill. Hi, Gene. My hopes for an upset are evaporating. Nole taking early breaks from 3rd to 5th set sealed it. Yeah, for sure. And he was making Novak after the second set, Novak was making Jerry work so damn hard in every service game. Like it was just crazy. By the way, Alcaraz did consolidate that second break. Game to love, Covey, says Gerald. Yeah, you got it, buddy. It is a game to love, isn't it? What do you think of that Novak toilet break? Exactly what I was expecting. Like, okay, I was watching, I saw him lose the second set, and I was watching with my buddy, and I was like, here's what's going to happen. Novak is going to go to the bathroom. He's going to look himself in a mirror. He's going to change his clothes, and he's going to come back, and he's going to win the next 3 sets. And my friend's not the biggest tennis fan, so he was like, oh, how do you know? And I was like, believe me, I know 100%. And he's like, okay, what? And then after he saw, he's like, okay, I see what you mean. You obviously know what you're talking about. That's just what they do. And it's not just Novak. Other players do it too. You know, you need to like do something, break the rhythm of the match. Like I said, take a look in the mirror, splash some water on your face, take some deep breaths, and you're allowed to do it. And there's nothing wrong with it. And so I thought it was good. Smart of him to do that. I think a lot of people underestimated how well Jerry has been playing recently. Honestly, he hasn't been on my radar whatsoever. So that makes me think that, I mean, how good could he have been playing? But yeah, maybe if you're following everything every day, yeah, he might have been playing better than he normally does. And he had a pretty good result, I think, recently, didn't he? In like Washington, maybe? All right, Evans looking to get on the board, down love 4 here early in the first set. And a good serve out wide, 40-15 now, as Alcaraz cannot return it in play, lands in the alley. Alexander, in a word, timely, says Todd. Come on, Carlitos, give us a bagel, says SWL. Carlos and Ons, finesse games, so much fun to watch. I agree. Good call there, Kevin. Good comment there. Covey, it's within the rules. A lot of players do it anyway. I don't know why many people think he is doping when he is taking bathroom breaks. It's shameful how some haters are. Yeah, like I said, there's nothing against it. By the way, Dan Evans does hold, so very fast pace to this match. We're only 21 minutes in. We're already 5 games in. Alcaraz up 4-1. Dan Evans is on the board, though. Yeah, like I just said, Gene, nothing wrong with it whatsoever. It's totally within the rules. He didn't take extra long or anything like that. There was one moment where in like I think in the third set where it was 1-1. Each player had broken each other in the third set, and Jerry, I think, was serving. No, Novak was serving, I think. And there was one moment where like Novak, the shot clock went to 0 and the umpire didn't. Like, that's one thing that I don't like. I think Nadal and Djokovic get a little bit of leeway from the umpires, but I don't like that. I think if you're still bouncing the ball when the clock is 0, you should get a time violation. And if you give someone a time violation early, then they realize, like, oh, okay, I got to be on it. And sometimes I think Djokovic and Nadal, especially, because both of them just take forever. Like, sometimes it's unbearable to watch. Sometimes I'll watch Djokovic and Nadal matches on like a 30-minute delay. So I'll start watching, like I'll start recording it, but then I won't start watching. I'll go do something for 30 minutes because I know I'm just going to fast forward through bouncing the ball for 25 seconds every point. But other than that, Novak didn't do anything wrong. And even then, he didn't do anything wrong. It's the umpire who missed that. And it was very small. It was only that one time that I saw. Evans needs a toilet break here. This is not a fun match to watch. Honestly, I know Alcaraz beats up most players, but still some players do challenge a bit due to their style of play. Kevin saying, or perhaps Novak went number 2, get everything out of this. That's possible. Yeah, the umpires should be more strict on this, giving out time. Yeah. And not just on Novak, I'm saying for everybody, because I think what happens is sometimes they let it slide once or twice, and then the player thinks like, okay, I'm just gonna take a little bit of advantage. But if you squash it right away, then that player is going to know, like, oh, okay, if I do it again, I'm going to lose a point here. Okay, sorry, there's something going on. I'm trying to listen here. Dan Evans is talking to the umpire about something. Okay, I don't know exactly what that was, but he's back on the baseline ready to return serve. And then he apologizes to Alcaraz. Maybe there's someone behind him or something. I don't know. Wasn't able to find out. But Alcaraz serving at 4-1. First serve is good. Nice return up the line. Backhand Alcaraz. Backhand slice Evans. Backhand slice Alcaraz. Backhand slice Evans. Backhand Alcaraz. Backhand slice Evans. Backhand Alcaraz. And that one's long as he goes up the line. Love 15. Good start to the game here for Evans. Now, Evans, once again, I think he's talking to his box. Maybe he's trying to communicate something to his box. And someone from his box is slowly... Huh? I don't know what's going on, but he's directing some sort of traffic. Anyways, point started. Alcaraz, good serve up the tee. Forehand from Evans into the net, 15-all. The pace, folks, of this one is a quick one. Talking about time violation, regardless of the player. Yeah, definitely. It's part of the rules, and everyone should follow them. Kasatkina, a very efficient and hard-fought win over Menin. Greet Menin, who played well. Yeah, Greet Menin had a good tournament. Dan Evans with a pop-up on the backhand as Alcaraz comes in on the approach, and the lob is smashed easily by Alcaraz, 30-15. Yeah, this is it's looking like it might be a short one. So far, Alcaraz 6 for 7 at the net. Evans 4 for 7. So definitely Dan Evans is trying to do the serve and volley tactic against Alcaraz. Not working so well just yet. Oh, Alcaraz serve and volley, and Dan Evans hit a beautiful return right at the shoelaces. This time it was a half volley, again with the beautiful touch. It cleared the net by maybe 2 inches and then landed, oh my heavens, and then landed on the Evans side. Just a beautiful shot from Carlitos Alcaraz. Once again, folks, his soft game and finesse has been on from the very first point. 40-15, double game point for serving to the net. Sabalenka Kasatkina, round of 16. I'm not liking this, man, says Gene. Here we go. Second serve. Carlitos is good. Backhand return is a short one. Alcaraz inside out ripper of a winner on a crazy angle, and it's 5-1 for this guy.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
Well, if Carlos is going to destroy people, then Novak should be worried. I don't think Novak has anything to worry about just yet. There's still potentially Cam Norrie, Yannick Sinner, Daniil Medvedev. So that's pretty. It's not a murderer's row, but it's a row of something. It's a might get injured row of players. So Novak, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think Novak. I mean, I think yesterday was the closest he's going to have to any sort of scare before the final, unless Tiafoe, maybe Tommy Paul, Shelton. I don't think. I think experience would beat Shelton if Novak faced him. I'm just going to take a look at the draw actually, because I just want to pull that up here. Tournaments. U.S. Open, draws, men's singles. Okay, so Novak, he's facing Gojo, and then he'll have either Stricker or Fritz if he wins against Gojo, which I fully expect him to. Yeah, so he'll have to face, let's say, Fritz. Fritz has been playing pretty well in this tournament. Straight sets all the way through so far. We got Hijikata, Tiafoe, Paul, Shelton. So the only player I give a reasonable chance of maybe winning, I still think Tiafoe. I still don't think Tommy Paul has it against Novak. I don't know why. That's just my personal opinion, and I could be wrong. But I feel like Tiafoe has the best chance. So, I think Tiafoe would be the only, kind of road bump. Maybe Fritz, but Fritz, again, is like 0-6 or 0-7 against him. Dan Evans serving to stay in set number 1, 15 all here, 1-5 he is serving. Here we go. Yeah, something made him laugh before the point. The crowd was laughing too. I thought maybe Medvedev could challenge this guy before the final. Now I'm not sure. I don't see Medvedev challenging him that much. I honestly see Norrie giving him a little bit more. I know that sounds crazy. If you look at it on paper, rankings and blah, 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 blah. But Norrie's had some success against him. He's beaten him in Cincinnati last year. He's beaten him in Brazil this year. Although, yes, Alcaraz did injure himself. He pulled, I think, his hammy or something. But nonetheless, he still got it. And when you have a win, that's still a win in your mind, right? So you know that you can do it. Gene, I don't think it matters how Novak wins until he wins, because in the big matches, he just plays differently. Good call. Djokovic destroyed Paul in the AO semis. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't really give him much of a chance here. Maybe Sinner, though. Against Novak? No. I give Sinner a 1% chance. There's one of those situations for me, Todd. And again, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just giving you my opinion. Sinner and Novak, to me, is one of those situations where Sinner has to overcome something. Until he does it, I don't believe it until I see it. That's one of those situations. He's had a lot of chances, and yeah, he's gotten better, but he won 2 sets in a row against Novak at Wimbledon, and then in Grand Slams, he's lost the last 6 in a row. So, yeah. Hey, Cubby and everyone. Hello, Max. First set is a piece of cake for Carlos. And Alcaraz. Oh, it was a double set point, 15-40, but Evans saves 1 set point and break point. But we'll have to face another one. Is 30-40. Alcaraz looking to wrap it up. That's a good point. Snail, AO Open, Novak destroys literally everyone. You know, I was really bummed, though, that Alcaraz wasn't in Australia. He was hurt. But hopefully, let's see how he does next year. Hey, Max. Draper wins again. Wow, Draper beats Mo, huh? And Dan Evans saves another one. We're at deuce. So, oh, no, he's only up 2 sets to love. But that's, yeah, pretty good sign. He took it 6-4, 6-2 in the first 2 sets. Still needs to take a third one. Michael Moe, of course, ending the career of John Isner, beating him in his last ever match. I was thinking Sinner could challenge Oh, yeah, definitely, Todd. 100% there. They're 3-3 against each other. He had 2 match points against Alcaraz last year. Nice serve and volley from Dan Evans. A floater return from Alcaraz, but Dan Evans viciously puts that away at the net, meeting the ball and ripping a forehand into the crowd. A forehand overhead ball into the crowd. And it is a game point now for Evans. So good job. He was down 15-40, double set point down, but has found his way to game point. This way, at least he might have a chance to serve first in the second set if he can pull this out. Get that scoreboard advantage. Hey, Gene. Todd Max saying, hey, Gene. Gene, Draper needs one more set. Oh, sorry. I saw the wrong score. Covey, Nori won't trouble Alcaraz that much. I would have given a fit Draper a much better chance if he was there. Matchups. No, I hear you. Like I said, I don't think Nori's going to beat him, but I think Nori poses more of a threat than say Dan Evans, for example. You know, Nori's a decent player. But yeah, I'm definitely picking Carlos for that. I'm not going to say the only person I'm a little worried about for Alcaraz is Sinner, but I kind of am. I like before the final, that is. I feel like Medvedev, again, Medvedev against Alcaraz, it's just not a great matchup. He stands so far back. Alcaraz just drops him when he's so far back, and he serves and volleys against him. And I don't know why Medvedev refuses to try other tactics. I'm not sure what the thinking is behind that. But yeah, Sinner definitely has a big shot. I wouldn't be surprised if Sinner beats Alcaraz and then Medvedev beats Sinner, and then we have a Medvedev, Djokovic final. Well, we made it back to deuce. Alcaraz stopped Evans from getting that game, but Evans with another game point here as he forces a forehand error from Alcaraz. Almost can't believe all 4 American men won yesterday. Yeah, pretty crazy. Keys Samsonova on court on serve. Thank you, Todd. I think Draper would challenge Alcaraz much more than Medi if he gets there. Yeah, I know they played once. Oh, we got a little cat and mouse point here, which Alcaraz wins. Both players were at the net. Dan Evans actually hit the net cord, and then Alcaraz was already at the net, and it bounced right in front of Alcaraz. And he pushed it back up the line. Dan Evans volleyed it right to Alcaraz's forehand, and then Alcaraz goes cross-court volley into the open space. So the net cord helping Alcaraz there. And actually, maybe Evans a little bit because it allowed him to make it up to the net. But alas, it is 40-all. It's deuce number 3. And Alcaraz trying to wrap up this first set here in this very game. Here comes the second serve as the first one was long. Will Alcaraz pounce? Let's see. Second serve. Ooh, it's a good one. It's a deep one right into the corner and a miss hit from Alcaraz. So another game point for Evans. Snail, let me think about that. So I think Alcaraz beat Draper indoor hard courts last year before Alcaraz got injured at the end of the year. But I think didn't he take a set off of him? I could see. Draper, the thing about him is he always seems to be injured, but right now he's cruising along. I mean, he's a big hitting lefty. He's got power. He's got a great serve. And I actually, there was a point last year where I expected him to be in the conversation of Alcaraz, Sinner, Runa, But then the injuries just keep piling up. So he's kind of like been lost in my mind's eye. By the way, Dan Evans with the save. 2 good serves at the end there. Alcaraz couldn't return either. And it is now 5-2. Carlitos will serve after the changeover. However, let's give a button for Dan Evans. Good little solid game there after being down 15-40 and double set point down.
It's an evolution. Talking about Dan Evans forever and ever.
Gene talking some revenge, saying how sweet would it be if Djokovic beats Medi in the U.S. Open final? Yeah, after Medi took out Djokovic when he was going for the calendar slam, if he's fit. That's Snehil talking about Jack Draper. Nas is like, what? What about Rublev? He always makes the quarterfinals, but beyond that, I think Medvedev has his number. Not impossible, but I would take Medvedev there. Revenge for 2021. Yeah, definitely. Gene, definitely. I don't think this version of Medvedev will pose a huge threat to him. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Todd. I don't think Djokovic would lose again to Medvedev. Come on, Jack Draper, says Max. Agreed, Todd. Nas, if Kyrgios and Alcaraz faced each other, who wins? Good question. I think if Kyrgios' serve was really on and his head was into it, and that's a lot of ifs because, one thing pisses him off and he goes off the handle. Alcaraz much more mentally tough. So I'd say most of the time I'd say Alcaraz, but on a good day for Kyrgios, I think he could definitely at least pose a good challenge. That serve is incredible when it's on. Covey, the injuries is the issue. Otherwise, he's a definite top 10 player in my eyes, a bit like Mukhova. I don't know about definite top 10 yet. He has a lot to prove. He hasn't really proven that he's anywhere near the top 10 yet. I see what you're saying based on his skill, his size, his youth, but yeah, I wouldn't, me personally, and I know your tennis, and that's not a bad call that you're saying, but I don't think it would be a definite top 10 because being a top 10 player is hard. And if you're not fit, you can't be a top 10 player, and he has not found a way to be fit yet in his career. So Covey, starting what do you think head-to-head Novak Carlos before Novak retires, hopefully in his 40s? I think the youth would probably win out. If you're asking me right now, I'd say Alcaraz will be up in that one, especially if Novak does play into his 40s. That would be kind of crazy. But I don't know. Let's say maybe like 8-6 Alcaraz type of thing, or like something like that. I mean, again, it's totally hypothetical because you don't know where they would meet. Would it be Grand Slams? Would it be this tournament, that tournament? Hello, friend. Thank you for your comment. Really, really appreciate it. Snehil saying, Covey, whenever I seen him play when he's fit, he looked incredible. Yeah, no, same with me. That's why I said I was last year. I was putting him in the conversation of the next gen with Alcaraz, Rune, Sinner. Those guys. Ben Shelton is another guy who I really like. And I had Jack Draper in that grouping last year, but he's just not. I mean, what has Jack Draper done this year? Like, honestly, I'm not being facetious. I honestly have no idea what he's done. He plays like once every 3 weeks. Or here, let me look at his. So he's Jack Draper, 123 in the world. Okay, so that tells us already he's 21 years old, and his results look like this. By the way, Alcaraz up 30-15, drop shot, but Dan Evans a one-hander up the line. Alcaraz with a lob, but that lands in the alley. Good job, Dan Evans. So Dan Evans starting to get the motor running a little bit. 30-all here. Alcaraz trying to wrap up this set. Okay, so Jack Draper in the tournament before this tournament, he retired in the second round. He lost to Kazao in straight sets in a challenger tournament a few weeks ago. Lost in the first round in the French Open. Made it to the third round in Lyon on clay. Monte Carlo won a round and then lost to Hurkacz. Indian Wells he retired against Alcaraz after one set. He was down 6-2, 2-love, and then he retired. So I just see a whole bunch of retirements and you know, so he just does. I think if he gets momentum and he stays healthy, he could definitely make some noise. And I agree with you. He really does have a big game. He's got a wicked serve and that lefty spin. You know what I mean? He could really take advantage of people. Needs to sort his body out. Yeah, exactly. I feel like him and Raducanu, they really need to figure out their bodies. And then Raducanu, I think she needs to figure out her coaching situation. That's a different conversation. But by the way, here it's deuce, folks. I should get back to this match. I've been talking about everything but this match. Here we go. Alcaraz 2 points away from a first set here. It's 5-2. Deuce first serve. Just wide up the tee. Second on the way. Good second serve and a return and volley from Evans, doing the sneak attack by Dan over there. And it worked because Alcaraz +1 was a attempted pass from the backhand cross court and it went wide. Now it's a game point here for Dan Evans. Dan Evans looking to get his first break of the match. So far 0 for 1. Alcaraz 2 for 8. Wow. Alcaraz always seems to get a lot of breakpoint chances. Not always that many breaks. Great serve out wide from Alcaraz. Dan Evans return into the net. So big serve to save another break point from Carlitos. Michael Walker. Hello, friend. How are you doing, buddy? Navratilova and Graf were 12 years apart. They played from Graf 16, Navratilova 28 until Graf was 22. Navratilova 37. It was tied 7-7. I mean, that's different players, different era, different sex, gender, whatever you want to call it. So I don't think that necessarily applies to Alcaraz Novak. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe Novak takes it. Their overall head-to-head could very possibly happen. You know, yesterday while I was watching the match, people, the commentators, James Blake and Patrick McEnroe were saying, "Oh, good rally here." Oh, Dan Evans with a wonderful cross-court inside-out forehand, and Alcaraz couldn't handle that. So a third break point opportunity in this game for Dan Evans. And the commentators were talking about how James Blake and Patrick McEnroe and BG, Brad Gilbert, were talking about how they all think that 26-year-old Novak would be beaten by 36-year-old Novak. And these are guys who all played pro tennis, and obviously James Blake played against them. So these are like, you know, guys who know what's going on. I've been on court with these guys or watched these guys very closely many, many times. And they're saying, look at this. Dan Evans is hopping around 1.5 feet inside the baseline on the Alcaraz second serve. Really playing some mind games, and I like it. All right, we're into the rally. Backhand slice Evans. Forehand Alcaraz inside out. Backhand Evans. Forehand inside out, Alcaraz, backhand Evans. This one into the net. Alcaraz saves the third break point. But Dan Evans is playing some mind tricks. He's jumping around like a soccer goalie before a penalty kick. Literally jumping back and forth, side to side, forward and back. And I think he's trying to say, hey, your second serve, I'm going to jump on it, buddy. Really, really, really smart. Evans is such an annoying player. That's ridiculous, Covey. I'd take 26-year-old Novak. Hey, man, that's not what I said. That's what Patrick McEnroe, Brad Gilbert, and James Blake said. So take it up with them. I'm just saying the fact that that's even a conversation is impressive on the part of Novak. Beautiful +1 from Alcaraz. Takes a short ball, goes up the line, and it's a 6th forehand winner for Carlitos, 0 for Evans, and it is another set point. This time I have a feeling Alcaraz is going to put it away. Ooh, big serve, but it's long. Alcaraz, 132 miles an hour. Damn. He really wanted it in this set. Here comes the second serve. Now Evans backing up. And the mind games are working because it was a double fault from Alcaraz there. 98 mile an hour serve. Yeah, Dan Evans was hopping around the baseline. Then he went forward, and then he backed up right before Alcaraz served. And yeah, 7-minute and 45-second game here for Alcaraz to wrap up. So first few games went by in a breeze, but now Alcaraz, another good serve out wide, and the forehand return from Evans is long. So yet another set point for Carlitos. Haha, Evans doing mind games. Yeah, he definitely is. It's legal. You can do it. And it'll be good for, I think it'll be good for Carlos to have someone try and mess with him a bit, because I haven't really seen anyone try and do that. He stopped doing it now. And we're into the rally. Backhand to Alcaraz, runs around, hits a forehand. Dan Evans. Oh, is that the net? Alcaraz tries to pass him. Dan Evans with a beautiful volley. Alcaraz tried to lob, and no, the lob is wide into the alleyway. Dan Evans is just kind of like racing as fast as he can so he just hit this backhand slice up the line, which you wouldn't normally approach on, but he just darted as fast as he could. I think he surprised Alcaraz. Yeah, it's a fun little game going on here. Almost 8.5 minutes now. Back to deuce. It's the 5th deuce of this one. Gene, useless strategies of a desperate man. The way draw has progressed, this slam has most matches are less exciting than other times. I totally agree with you, Snail. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, oh, what's the matchups today? And I'm like, there's like one match I want to see today. I love watching Novak. You all know that, but I just wasn't excited for that match before it happened. And then, of course, he was down 2-0. But I was just like, this is like one of the only matches. I think Coco Gauff matches are really exciting. Iga matches still not yet super exciting. Ostapenko matches, meaning that they will be for Iga. I was told that the Rybakina Kristea match was absolutely awesome. Awesome level of tennis and everything. All right, Alcaraz with the serve and volley. Dan tries to lob him, but Alcaraz with a backhand overhead, and that's what will end the first set. Alcaraz takes it 6-2 off the serve and volley. Dan Evans did come alive in the last 4 games, though. Good for him. And hopefully we'll have a little bit more of a challenge for Carlitos and more of a match here starting in the second set. First set goes to Carlitos.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
Folks, if you haven't done so, please smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and then, of course, hit that notification bell, and then you'll be all good in your life. All right, so, by the way, the goal of this video is to get to 100 likes. So far, we're at 32, 1/3 of the way there. Alcaraz also 1/3 of the way to the round of 16 if he is to make it there. Dan Evans will need 3 sets to get there. He has 0 right now. All right, you guys are probably wondering, Covey, what about the other matches? Well, Jack Draper is up 2 sets, but he's down 3-love in set number 3, although he is serving right now, looking to get on the board. He's up 40-15, so he's got a couple game points to get on the board in set number 3. Cam Norrie, 1-0 against Arnaldi. Later on, Arthur Rinderknecht versus Rublev. We've got Wawrinka versus Sinner. We've got Jari versus the Demon, Diminor. We've got Zverev, Dimitrov, and we have Medvedev versus Sebastian Baez. Also, on the women's side, we had Sabalenka with an easy victory against Burrell, straight sets in 1 hour and 1 minute. We had Kasatkina over Minin. We have a Keys Samsonova 5-all in the first set, so that one's going to probably go down to the wire in the first set unless someone can steal the last 2 games. Zhang Xinwen is going to be facing Lucia Bronzetti. We've got Svitolina versus Pegula. I'm going to pick Svitolina in that one, folks, in case you're wondering. Even though I think Pegula is awesome and really good, I just feel like Svitolina has been rolling for a while. Katie Bolter is going to take on Peyton Stearns. We got Ons versus Boskova. And then finally, last match on the women's side, we'll have Alexandrova versus Wimbledon champ Marketa Vondrousova. There you go. Here we go. Second set about to start. Now about, I would say about 10, maybe 18% of the court is dark, and the other, 70, what did I say, 18? 82% is sunny now. And Dan Evans serving from the shade into the sun, where Carlos awaits. Until now, Snehal talking about the matchups haven't been that great, and I completely agree with you. Hopefully, the further rounds improve. I think the way that the draw worked itself, all the like good matchups were spread out, and so now they're kind of coming in. I think we're gonna have a good second week here. Sabalenka match highlights longer than the actual match. Who is covering Alms versus Boskova? I think maybe Ben and JG, but I'm not positive. I think Ben did mention that. I think they might be doing that. Dan Evans up 15 love, but the first serve, excusez-moi, is into the net. Second serve on the way. Yeah, Gene, Gary told me the same thing on Facebook Messenger. He said, Christea, we're back in a fantastic match. He was telling me to watch the replays. I will listen to him. Yeah, Gary, not a bad guy to listen to. Oh, a nice play from Evans, charging up to the net, and rips a forehand. And Alcaraz couldn't handle that and pushes that into the crowd. 30 love. Dan Evans has found his groove here, folks. Looking much, much better. He was not looking too good. He was down 4-1 to start the first set. And has since picked it up a little bit. Ace up the tee, and it's 40 love. Triple game point for the Brit. Hey, Gene. Yeah, Gary said, watch it. I fell asleep, says Peter. Hello, Peter. Hope you're well, my friend. Bring on Nicolette for Jabeur match. Yeah, I mean, if she can do it, that would be dope. Ooh, a beautiful serve up the tee once again from Evans, and it's a game to love. There you go. A little bit of traction now for Dan Evans.
It's an evolution. Talking about Dan Evans forever and ever.
Yeah, give it up for Ben making another button. This one for Dan Evans. Peter saying hello. Peter, hello, man. Hi, Covey on the West Coast. Hey, buddy. Haven't seen you in a while. It was a good match in terms of drama, but Rebecca was fairly erratic. Thank you, Snail. Yeah, I didn't get to watch that one. Yes, Gene buried in work, but I've been faithfully following GTL. Go, GB, go. We love you, Sorana. Yeah, Sorana with a great victory. Thank you, Tresisport, for your comment. Really appreciate it. 35 likes now, folks. We have passed the 1/3 way, and it's a good pace. We can get to 100, I believe. Alcaraz with a +1 drop shot. Dan Evans gets on his horse, gets to it. Alcaraz tries to lob him, but the backhand overhead from Evans is a winner. And folks, Dan Evans taking all 6 points in the second set, and he's up love 30, looking threatening to break Carlitos here after Alcaraz took the first set 6-2. But Dan Evans really woke up in the last 4 games of that set, and it has carried over into the second. Ooh, Alcaraz first serve goes long. Second serve is a good one. Backhand slice return. Now backhand Alcaraz, backhand slice Evans, forehand Alcaraz to the backhand of Evans. Up the line, forehand cross-court Alcaraz, forehand Evans, that one long. Alcaraz finally, after 7 points, Alcaraz is finally on the board in set number 2, 15-30. Can anyone stop the Screaming Banshee? Who is the Screaming Banshee, Peter? Are you talking about Alcaraz? Are you talking about Sabalenka? Anyone else I could think of? Snehal, just how Kvitova sometimes plays. Please, Evans, make this a match at least, or take a set. I see, Peter. All right, Alcaraz, second serve is a good one. Backhand slice return. Now forehand Alcaraz inside in. Dan Evans with a pop-up lob. Alcaraz waits for that to come down and then smashes it. But Evans got a racket on it. But no, that was about 10 feet wide of the court. Actually, almost hit the umpire's chair there. 30 all. So Alcaraz, after falling into a little bit of a hole, love 30, has found his way back to level. Saba. Okay, that's what I thought you were going to say. Yeah, she definitely screeches. Maybe that's how she gets all the power in that forehand and serve. Her match with against Burrell was over in like 10. Yeah, it was 61-minute match. Just over an hour there. So pretty quick work. Second serve here, Alcaraz, 30 all. It's a good one. And the chip and charge from Evans. Alcaraz tries to lob him. The backhand overhead from Evans. Now Evans is back. Alcaraz neutralized the point with that overhead. But then Alcaraz's backhand after that goes long. So he's lost his range all of a sudden. And it is a break point for Dan, looking to take a 2-love lead, just as Alcaraz did in the first set. The Evans camp, very, very happy, excited, pumping up their charge. Why does Novak get hindrance calls, but players like Trevisan and Saba don't? LOL. Hey, Peter, I was at Saba match. She didn't scream that loudly today. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Why am I? All right. We got inside out forehand Alcaraz. Oh, and he charges, but Dan Evans rips a backhand up the line. And it causes Alcaraz to flub that, goes wide. And it's the break for the Brit. He is up 2 games to love. Hey, Peaches. Hey, Jean. Peaches, hi. Enjoy the Open. My family is there too. I gotta work. Vamos Evans, says Jean. And Evans hollering. He's found a bit of a groove here, folks. Dan Evans up a break in set number 2. What up, King? How you doing, buddy? What up, Covey and everyone, says King. Sabalenka even utilized some drops today. Consolidate it now. Evans got it. And we got Visa Barca. We got King always talking about footy, soccer, as we call it on this side of the pond. Evans, second serve. Alcaraz with a good deep backhand return up the line. Evans can't handle that, and it's love 15. Alcaraz looking like he wants to break right back. See if he can do it. Peaches, Peter, cool, and it's a nice day too. I serve out wide from Evans. Alcaraz with a floater return. Evans hits a swinging volley out of the midair there and to the backhand of Alcaraz, which goes into the net subsequently. And it's 15 all. Nice play from Dan Evans there. Has the U.S. Open signed the fangirl in the crowd chugging beers yet? No, but I would love to marry that girl. She 2 years in a row, and both times she did not have a ring on her finger. Alcaraz with a forehand winner as Dan Evans tries to go serve and volley, but Alcaraz read that beautifully and rips a forehand past Dan Evans, 15-30. So there we go. Almost 1 hour in, 59 minutes to be exact. Good serve up the tee. Alcaraz chop back return. Evans makes his way to the net and then pushes a volley that Alcaraz cannot handle. Backhand into the net, 30 all. Kevin, beers at USD, $16 a pop. Yeah, that's just crazy. Sporting events are like airports. You just you want some water? Yeah, it'll be like $13. Thank you. Might as well just go to the bathroom and drink out of the tap. That's hilarious. Okay. Hey, King, does anyone know when Wawrinka plays Sinner? Yes, I do. It's going to be the second match. This scheduled to start in 45 minutes. Whether it will actually start, it depends on who's playing. You know what? Let me check out the order of play for you. So it goes like this. Wawrinka and Sinner will start after the Samsonova-Keys match. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, it looks like Peach is already ahead there. So, Covey, you're looking for advanced drinking abilities in a woman. I just thought that she was a cutie. She's always popping up every year during the U.S. Open. And the break back as a double fault from Dan Evans, and Carlitos breaks, so that break advantage for Dan Evans short-lived. Alcaraz now back on serve 1-2 coming into the change. Yeah, schedule 1:45, which is half an hour from now. Samsonova takes first set. Thank you, Gene. Oh, come on, stupid. I think you mean DE, Dan Evans, maybe? Oh, double fault. Thanks, Peaches. Peter, haha, honestly thought it would be double back. Okay, so even though he had a little bit of a rough start to the set, Alcaraz finds a break back right away. Boomerang break. And yeah, we're back on serve here. Kevin. Then it's a bargain. It's the honey deuce. That's $22. Peter, are you trying to say Covey, but you keep saying Kevin, or is there someone else named Kevin in the chat that I'm not aware of? Just curious. Or maybe your autocorrect changes Covey to Kevin or something. I'm not sure, but just wondering. Alcaraz is elite. Oh yeah, he is. Can't be the first ever teenage world number one if you're not elite. That's for sure. 2 Grand Slams for the youngster. Just turned 20 back in May. 3 months ago. 4 months ago. I believe his birthday is... Yeah, it's the Cinco de Mayo, 5th of May. So in 3 days, it'll be 4 months. And Holger Rune is just born 6 days before him, April 30th, the same year, 2003. Both very young, both in the top 4 in the world. After this tournament, I believe, depending on what happens, I think it'll still be Alcaraz will be 2. Well, you never know. What I guess. Let me look actually. What if so? Alcaraz is leading the race by 420 points against Novak. That's the race, but the actual live rankings. We have Novak is 1 in the live rankings, but it won't be official until September 11th or whenever this tournament concludes. Medvedev with 61.70, Holger Rune with 47.10. Oh, so Sinner could actually jump ahead of Holger Rune depending on how he does, and Rublev also potentially could, and maybe Fritz, but I don't think all 3 of them. So yeah, Rune will probably stay in the top 4. Anyways, Dan Evans up 15. Nope, sorry, it's 15 all here. Actually, it's Alcaraz serving. What am I doing? They keep showing Evans, so I keep saying Evans, but it's Alcaraz. Yeah, because Alcaraz just broke. Of course, what am I talking about? So it is 15 all. Alcaraz looking to consolidate and get truly back to level. We're on serve, but not level. And if you're a tennis fan, you know what that means. Why didn't Jared double fault like this against Nole? Well, Jared was facing Nole, and Dan Evans is facing Alcaraz, so I don't see the connection there. There's a Kevin in the chat, but my autocorrect is a traitor. Okay, thanks, Peter. Thank you. In the important points, so annoying, Cubby. Funny, Gene. Cool, Todd. Got the match on its telly. Very competitive. My name is Kevin. Subject: drinking girl. Of course. Sorry, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin Nix. It's so funny. I just when I read like the handles, I usually just kind of read them all as one. So I think Kevin Nix 666 or 666. And so I didn't register Kevin as Kevin. My bad. Sorry, Kevin and Peter. I figured you were talking to a Kevin, but I just wasn't positive. But now it all makes sense now that I see Kevin. Okay, Dan Evans hit a volley into the net. He had a good chance there to take a double break advantage, but was unable to do it. So now it's 30-all. Second serve at 30-all coming up from Alcaraz. As I stretch and yawn. Nice second serve out wide. Return. Ooh, right off the baseline. Alcaraz scoops that up. Now we're into a rally. Inside out forehand. Alcaraz backhand slice. Evans. And Alcaraz tries to go with a crazy angle, but that one lands in the alley, and it's now 30-40. So another chance for Dan Evans to go up a break here already in the second set. Okay, so break point. First serve is long. Evans will get a look at a second for the break here. Good second serve. Chip, block back return. Forehand Alcaraz. Forehand Evans. Forehand Alcaraz. Up the line, and I guess it's called in. I thought it was long, but no, it is called in, and we're going to a deuce. That was mighty close, I believe, but Alcaraz ripped the felt off of that one. We're showing the slow-mo, and where did it bounce? Just inside the line. That had some zip on it, though, folks. So if you're wondering what they are wearing, well, Alcaraz is wearing the same kit. It's a newly designed specific kit for him from Nike. It's a sleeveless. It's got a tank top. It's a cream base. And then there's a lot of like Southwestern kind of pastel-y colors. There's like turquoise, there's peach, there's pink. Really abstract designs on his shirt. All right, we're into a rally. Dan Evans making Alcaraz run. Alcaraz hits a lob. Dan Evans with a high overhead from back in the baseline. Alcaraz returns that. Dan Evans comes up, volleys it into the net. Unfortunate. That was one of the toughest overheads I've seen someone hit, and with such confidence. Good job, Dan Evans, but unable to finish off the point. Alcaraz now with a game point. So I was mentioning Alcaraz's tank top, and then he's wearing maroon Nike shorts, white socks, cream-colored shoes, all Nike. He's got a left wrist taped up. It's been taped up since mid-Wimbledon. Actually, maybe since Queens. So I'm not sure what that is. And then he's got the wristband on the right wrist. Of course, he's got his black and yellow Babolat racket. No headgear for Carlitos. Dan Evans, we'll get to him in a second. Second serve coming up for Carlos Alcaraz, but it is a game point for 2-all in the second set. Second serve is good. Return cross court. Backhand Alcaraz. Backhand slice Evans. Forehand Alcaraz. Backhand Evans. Backhand Alcaraz up the line. Forehand Evans up the line. Backhand slice Alcaraz. Now drop shot Evans, but it goes into the net. Alcaraz holds. We're back on serve 2-all here in the second set.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
All right, I'd say about 5% of the court is now in shade and the rest is in the sun. 1 hour, 9 minutes in. Alcaraz up a set, and we're level at 2 games apiece here in set number 2. It is 1:23 p.m. in New York City, Flushing Meadows to be exact, where the U.S. Open takes place. We're in Arthur Ashe Stadium, where Alcaraz has just hit a lob. Oh, Evans cross-court overhead. This time he misses it. I was just talking about how confidently he hit a very high and deep overhead out of the air in the last game, but this one eludes him just a little bit. He got all of it in terms of contact, but the racket face was just a little too closed, and so he sliced it a little wide there. Love 15. Here we go. Evans, first serve into the net. Ooh, that was pretty low into the net. Here comes the second serve. I'm going to lean in here, get a better view. And it's a double fault from Evans. All right, so Dan Evans is wearing a full T-shirt, no sleeve. No sleeveless like Alcaraz. He's got the sleeves on. He's got a full collar as well. And he always wears his shirts buttoned all the way to his neck. I always kind of found that claustrophobic personally, but surprising that he plays that way. But he does. Ooh, Alcaraz almost had a killer backhand pass on the defense, but it goes just a hair wide as Dan Evans comes into the net. So Dan Evans is wearing a green and white shirt, green collar with a white stripe on it. Like I said, he's got the button up done all the way. The front is all green. The sleeves are white and then green, and then the back is all white. Also white shorts, white shoes, white socks, wristband on his right wrist that is white, and that is what Mr. Evans is wearing. 1-1-1. That is how many hours and minutes? 1 hour and 11 minutes into this one. Oh, great serve right to Alcaraz's body, but he gets out of the way and blocks it back nice and deep. Now Evans comes into the net and volleys a nice put-away volley backhand from Dan Evans, and he is at 30 all here. Evans fighting the good rear guard action, but he is doomed. Peter, no doubt, says Todd. Like all the Brits, Dunkirk Day in Flushing Meadows. What is Dunkirk Day? I'm not sure what that is. I take that back, says Peter. All right, 30 all. Evans adjusting his wristband. He's got, his shoes are actually white and green. They're Asics shoes. By the way, folks, I just got a pair of Asics, and I love them. I went from one pair of Asics that were designed for pickleball, so they're slightly less heavy duty than tennis shoes. And then I went through the sole in 31 days. The guys were like, holy crap, that's not supposed to happen. They gave me a refund. And then I got another pair of New Balances, and those were clunky. I wore them once, but I cleaned them so good the store didn't know. I returned them. They accepted them. And then I got another pair of heavy-duty Asics called Gel Resolution 9. And man, are they good shoes. I love them more every day I wear them. Not sure why I'm giving you guys an Asics advertisement, but I am, and I did. Here we go. Dan Evans has a break point against him. It's 30-40. Alcaraz looking to get back on top after being down love 2 early in the set. First serve is long from Dan Evans. Folks, we're at 41 likes. That's pretty good. Actually, that's great. Trying to get to 100. So if you haven't done so, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell. And let's go. All right. Second serve is a good one. And the forehand return from Alcaraz into the net. He won't be happy about that, but he's good at letting things go. And we're at deuce. Oh, we got a little girl in the crowd with a unicorn hat on. And it's very, very cute. 106 mile an hour second serve from Evans there. Arnaldi up a break on Nori. Thank you, Todd. Peaches, I'm surprised Sabalenka didn't grunt loudly today, says Max. Yeah, she is a screamer. All right, nice serve, deuce out wide. Alcaraz backhand slice, backhand Evans. Alcaraz makes way to the net. Little drop volley, and Dan Evans with a one-handed backhand tries to go up the high part of the net, but clips it, and it's another breakpoint chance for Carlitos. Dunkirk, successful British evacuation of British Army from France early World War II. Thank you. I definitely had heard of Dunkirk, but I didn't know that it was I didn't know Dunkirk Day was a thing. First serve, Evans out wide, and the serve itself is a wide, so we'll have a second serve. And Alcaraz looking to pounce here on a second and take a 3-2 lead, take a break here. Can he do it? Will he do it? Ooh, it's a let. So Dan Evans, lucky there, didn't get a double fault, and he will have a second serve here. Serve is good. Backhand return up the middle. Forehand Evans. Backhand Alcaraz up the middle. Forehand Evans. Just long. Alcaraz with a break, and he's now ahead 3-2, and will serve after the changeover. Now Alcaraz is pointing to... Oh, yeah, okay. His box is giving him, I guess, some electrolytes or something in a vial that the ball boy has just passed on to Alcaraz. So some concoction to help him stay energized and fit here in this set. Oh, it's not a thing. Just that the Brits will be evacuating Flushing Meadows today, but not totally. Ah, very clever. Now I know what you meant. Clever, Peter. I like that. Now I know for next time. Evans, the 26th seed. Alcaraz, of course, the number 1 seed. And he is up a break and a set, is Carlitos. First set, Arnaldi, 6-3. You know what? Why don't I give you guys an update? Here is what's going on in the rest of Flushing Meadows. Michael Moe has taken the 3rd set. We are just starting set number 4. We're into the first game. So Draper leads 2-1. And I believe, let me just double check, but I think that was the first sets that Draper has dropped. Is that right? Let me just double check. No, that's not true. Draper won. No, that's true. Draper won against Albot in straights. Then he beat Hurkacz in straight. So, and then he won the first 2. So he won his first 8 sets and finally has dropped one. And then what else was I going to tell you? The rest of the scores. So Michael Moe, yeah, they're there. We know what's going on. Alcaraz, Evans. Arnaldi takes set number 1. On the women's side, we got Sabalenka straight sets over Burrell, Kasatkina straights over Minin, and we have Samsonova on serve in the second set, but she is up 1-0 over Madison Keys. Here we go. Game number 6 in the second set. Alcaraz looking to consolidate the break. Dan Evans looking to break right back. Who will get their way? Here we go. First serve. Beauty. Backhand return chip. Alcaraz forehand inside in. Evans tried to cross him. Forehand cross, but forehand pass. But it goes wide into the alleyway. 15-love Alcaraz. Predictions for Svitolina Pegula. I'm going Svitolina. I think she's increased her power game, and I think that's where Pegula usually has trouble against the power. So if Svitolina is hitting the ball nicely, then I'm going to give that one to her. I'll say 3 sets. What about you, Todd? What do you think? Second serve coming up here for Carlitos. He's already up 15-love. Second serve is good. Chip back. Nope, not back. Chipped into the net, and it's 30-love. So Alcaraz probably happy to get a couple easy points here. The points have gotten a little bit longer in the second set than the first set. Hour and 18 into this one, says the Rolex time clock. Todd says, Covey, I agree. Okay, so you got Svitolina in 3. Yeah, her power game is really upped, I find, since she's come back. All right, now I'd say 1% of the court is dark and the rest is light. So we're getting to the point where it's all... Ooh, a return and volley attempt from Evans. And it's successful, but it's because Alcaraz's passing shot goes... Oh, gosh. Just like 3 millimeters wide. He almost caught the line on there. Good lead from Dan Evans, but man, that was 3 millimeters. That's very close. All right, 30-15. Good serve, Alcaraz up the middle, and another return into the net. 40-15. This has again been a little bit easier of a game for Carlos than it has been any of the other games in this set while he's been serving. Didn't have breakfast, folks. I had my smoothie, my blackberry whey protein, soy milk, actually almond milk, and what else? Shelled hemp seeds, really good for lowering cholesterol. All right, we're into a rally here, finally. Backhand Alcaraz, backhand drop shot attempt Evans, and another one into the net. So 3 shots into the net from Evans, and there you go. The consolidation is complete. Alcaraz up 4-2. Todd saying both Svitolina and Wozniacki literally rolled out of bed and resumed their former levels. Isn't it incredible? Like Wozniacki right now, I'm just like, oh, does she have a shot? Because on the women's side, you know, It's usually more wide open than the men's. And yeah, it would be pretty crazy. Now let me just check. Are they on the same side of the draw? I wonder. I should take a look here. Ooh, Wozniacki Goff, Ostapenko Swiatek, and I think Ostapenko leads that. I think is she undefeated? I'm gonna check that head to head there. Kristea Bencic, Muchova Wang. So yeah, we got a lot of good matchups coming up. Sabalenka Kasatkina. I'm gonna give Sabalenka that one. I'm gonna take Zhang Xinwen over Bronzetti. I'm gonna take Ons Jabeur because she's who I picked to win it all. I'm gonna take Svitolina over Pegula. I'm gonna take, I don't know, Samsonova Keys. I mean, Samsonova is already up a set. I'm going to say, yeah, Samsonova. Keys, she always seems to let me down when I think she's going to win. I'm going to take Vondrosova over Alexandrova, and I'll take Stearns over Bolter. All right. Dan Evans with an overhead. Alcaraz gets to that, though. Dan Evans catches a floater, and Alcaraz lobs it. Dan Evans hits that cross court. Alcaraz with another lob. Dan Evans with another overhead. Alcaraz with another lob. Dan Evans with another overhead. Alcaraz now with a forehand as Dan Evans went back. Now we're playing pickleball. We're doing dink shots on each other. Alcaraz with a lob over Evans. Evans with the backhand. And Alcaraz couldn't handle. The ball dropped right at his feet over the net, and the backhand from Alcaraz into the net. Point of the match. Both players with some formidable shot making, 3 straight overheads from Evans, all of them difficult, 3 straight lobs back from Alcaraz, neutralizing the point. Dan Evans chip and charges while Alcaraz was already at the net. Very unorthodox. Alcaraz with a backhand volley lob. Dan Evans one-hand backhand. Alcaraz tries to half volley that. He lets it bounce. It goes off his racket, but no height. And both players smiling at each other from around the court, giving each other props. What a point. All right, 15 all here. Now another point. Dan Evans on the +1 inside in. Alcaraz with another lob. This time it goes long. Evans will not have to hit an overhead. Probably, thankfully. He's hit about 9 overheads in the last 10 minutes here. And it is 30-15. What a point, guys. Right, Todd. Hope they can keep it up. Happy Mondays and Black Grape frontman Sean Ryder has revealed he must receive a testosterone injection once every 3 months or he will drop dead. I don't know what Happy Mondays or Black Grape are, but I'm assuming they are a musical group, and that is really, really unfortunate. Penko up head to head. Yeah, 3 love. Thank you. Crypto Penko. I thought that. Yeah, I knew she was definitely ahead in their head-to-head career, but I wasn't positive if it was undefeated, and that's pretty crazy. I can practically see the 20+ shot rallies between Goff, Wozniacki. Yeah, it'll be some. I mean, Goff's probably the best mover in my opinion on the women's side. Maybe Iga's up there too, but I'll give it to Goff. And Wozniacki's just back in stride. Dan Evans now up 40-30, looking to get this set back on track, stay within a touching distance as Alcaraz is up a break. First serve, nice one out wide. Alcaraz deep return. Now backhand Alcaraz, Evans, backhand Alcaraz, forehand Evans, backhand Alcaraz. Oh, goes just wide. I thought it might have hit the line, but it didn't, and it's a game for Evans back on track. Alcaraz will serve after the changeover up a break at 4-3. Peter have to give Swiatek her first win against her. Yeah, I don't know how much the Penko luck. I don't know if it's going to necessarily luck, but they're showing a replay of that crazy point where Dan Evans just like charging the net when Alcaraz was already there, and then Alcaraz pushes him back. That one-handed swiveling backhand. He had to turn like 135 degrees, 3/4 of a turn sort of deal. Yeah, he really got that. But that was a very, very nice shot. Anyways, what was I going to look up? Oh, yeah, I was going to look up something. No. Gula, Svitolina. Okay. Alcaraz about to serve, up 4-3 here in set number 2, up a set. Current world number 1 and top seed, but will relinquish that seeding no matter what happens at the end of this tournament. All right, here we go. First serve, nice one out wide, return up the middle, forehand. Ooh, is a rocket off the racket of Alcaraz, inside out, off of the baseline of Dan Evans, and it's 15-love. Nothing you can do with that. Peter saying, love Iga, but Penko will defeat her with her kit alone. Dan Evans comes up to the net, and now Alcaraz forces another overhead, and this one was horribly missed by Dan Evans. I think he almost hit the back wall before it bounced. So maybe they're starting to catch up to him. He's like I said, folks, he's hit probably now 10 or so in the last 15 minutes, 12 minutes, and it's 30-love Carlitos. Looking to take a 5-3 lead here. Dan Evans putting in a great effort, folks. It's not like he's being dominated, even though it looks like it on the scoreboard somewhat. He's putting in a great effort since the last 4 games of the first set. Beautiful serve and volley from Alcaraz, with the volley being a drop volley that Dan Evans could not chase down, and he is one athletic dude, so you know that was a nice one. It's 40-love Alcaraz. You heard it here first. Iga 6-3, 6-3. Okay, Todd. Let's go. Let's go. All right, Alcaraz. First serve into the net. Okay. So here comes the second serve. Chip back way long, and it's a game to love. Alcaraz up 5-3. Okay. So we got a new can of balls. Dan Evans picking up a new racket, as he will be serving with those new balls. Alcaraz is not changing his racket. He will probably do it right after when he serves. That's usually, I don't know the full thinking behind that. Anyone else in the chat let me know, because I know some players often change their racket right when they get new balls, but when they're receiving and there are new balls, they don't change the racket. They'll do it when they're serving in the next game. Game to love. You got it, Gerald. You're always on those games to love. I'm not convinced, Covey. I want Carlos to suffer as much as possible. LOL. Well, it's going to be up to Dan Evans and Alcaraz to figure out who's going to suffer. But yeah, and Alcaraz, his first match, was it first or second match? First match. He only played a set and a half, so he hasn't been on court much at all, which is a good thing. Well, of course, last year he had 3 straight 5-setters and then he won the final in 4. So that was a ridiculous run to the championship. Crazy amount of hours on court, so much in fact that he wasn't even practicing or getting on court in between in the off days in the second week. He was just resting, and then just warm up and play on match day. Beautiful serve up the tee, and it is 15 all as Alcaraz's return goes haywire. Forced errors, 28 each. So there you go. I think if the difference is Alcaraz got more winners. 18-6. Ooh, Alcaraz with a short return. Dan Evans tried to volley that. Probably should have waited for it to bounce, but the volley goes into the net. It's 15-30. Now Alcaraz 2 points away from a 2-sets-to-love lead. First serve is good. Block back and just wide from Alcaraz. 30 up. Todd saying, Covey, I think Bolter keeps it going 3 sets over Stearns. Okay. So Stearns took out Towson in the round before, and Bolter took out Yafan Wang. Yeah, let's see. Katie Bolter, of course, is Alex Diminor's girlfriend. Alcaraz tries to pass Evans, but Evans volleys. Oh, and the volley goes just long. Alcaraz had a lot of pace on that smartly. And so it is now break point and set point here in the second set. Evans serving at 3-5, 30-40. Yeah, the reason I think I'm taking Stearns is just the hometown favorite, or the hometown crowd. I think it really elevates a lot of players, especially when neither is necessarily favored. Okay, it's a second serve. Ooh, it's a let, and it's a late call. So Dan Evans still alive here. Set point against, and he's serving up a second serve. Second serve is good. Forehand return Alcaraz. Now Alcaraz makes way to the net and half volleys it into the net. And so Dan Evans saves set point just as he did several times in the first set. And we are level again here at deuce in game number 9. Very nice shot from Evans, dipping low right after it goes over the net, forcing Alcaraz to an error. Deuce, first serve. It's a good one. And it's a serve and volley, which Dan Evans punches into the backhand wing of Alcaraz, and the backhand goes wide. So, advantage Evans. Way to save and find your own game point here. All right, 42 likes. Loving it. Thank you guys for all of your support, guys, gals, wherever you may be. Really appreciate you hanging out with me here on, for me, it's Saturday morning. It's 11:45 a.m. here in Vancouver, and it's 2:45 p.m. in New York City. They're 3 hours ahead of me. Nice serve and block back return from Alcaraz. Now backhand slice Evans. Short ball. Alcaraz steps in, rips a forehand up the middle. Dan Evans gets to that. Alcaraz volleys it, and then a swinging volley from Evans, which Alcaraz hits a volley into the open space. Woo! Quick hands, Alcaraz. Back to deuce. That was an impressive little display. I thought the game was gonna be over there. Oh, I think Dan Evans might have been good to leave that. Let that go out, maybe. It would have been close. But the swinging volley. Yeah, interesting. Okay, here we go. Deuce. Good first serve. Backhand return to the backhand of Evans. Forehand Alcaraz. Forehand Evans. Cross court. Forehand Alcaraz. Oh, my heavens. Evans was on his way in after that really nice forehand cross court. Alcaraz just ripped a bullet past him right at his feet. And no chance there for Evans, although he thought he had a chance because he pulled Alcaraz off the court a little bit. But was that a rocket or was that a rocket? Jeez. That's one of those shots that you feel like when you see live, you're like, okay, that was worth the price of admission alone. Forehand winners in the set, 4-1 for Alcaraz. That last one was a bomb. Set point once again. Block back return here. Now Evans forehand inside in. Block back Alcaraz. And Evans smartly lets it go as he makes his way to the net and the ball goes long. Not done yet. Another deuce here for the third time in this very game. Okay. Apologies for all the yawning, folks. It's been a long one. Actually, it hasn't. This morning for me. But something in my body is craving a little more rest. I got a good sleep too. I slept at like 10:30 and I woke up at 7. So it's not like it was well, that's how it goes sometimes. Deuce. First serve is good. Backhand return up the middle. Backhand slice is into the net from Evans. So another break and set point opportunity for Carlitos. If anyone knows what the logo is on Dan Evans' shirt, it's on the left chest. I can't make it out. I'm looking through a very small screen that I'm unable to zoom into. So if anyone knows what company he's rocking, let me know. I'm curious. First serve from Evans is long. Here comes the second. Again, set point for Alcaraz. Third set point. Serve is good right at the body. Alcaraz blocks it back. Backhand slice Evans. Forehand Alcaraz. Backhand Evans. Forehand Alcaraz right up the middle. Forehand Evans. Backhand slice Alcaraz. Evans makes his way to the net. Volleys to the feet of Alcaraz. Alcaraz lobs him. Evans with the tweener. And Alcaraz just drop overhead for the set. Good hustle by Evans, but he just wasn't able. He went from the front of the court to the back of the court and couldn't make it back to the front. Alcaraz up 6-2, 6-3, 2 sets to love.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
Okay, so the winner of this one will take on the winner of Arnaldi and Cam Norrie. Right now in that one, Cam Norrie lost the first set, and we're on serve. Norrie serving at 2-3 in the second set. So there's a little bit of an update. Also, Jack Draper and Michael Moe are on serve. Michael Moe serving at 2-3 in the fourth set. Draper is up 2-1 in that one. And the only other live match is Keys is up 5-2 against Samsonova. Samsonova won the first set, so Keys looking to force a decider, and we'll have a couple chances to do so. Whether she takes them, we'll see. Later on, Rinderknecht versus Rublev, Wawrinka Sinner, Jari Diminor, Zverev Dimitrov, and Medvedev Baez. Also on the women's side, coming up later, Zheng Qinwen versus Bronzetti. We got Svitolina versus Pegula, Bolter Stearns, Jabeur Bozkova, and Alexandrova versus Vondrosova. Our Wimbledon champion, the last woman to win a Grand Slam. Nice tweener there from Dan Evans, and he almost runs into the wall. He has to stop and admire it just for a second to see it went over. And Alcaraz with the overhead, but instead of actually smashing it, he just does a drop overhead. And Dan Evans wasn't able to do it. Covey, south of you in central Cali, we have a lovely Pacific Northwest kind of day. Cool and cloudy. Very nice, Todd. Yeah, actually, we've had an amazing summer here. We're about 24 degrees, which is, I think, mid-80s or maybe a little around there, higher. Yeah, typically we get cloudy and cool, nice, crisp days. And they will get more and more crisp as we get more and more into the fall. Alexander Laurent saying, yes, Alcaraz will dominate. He's only dropped 5 games so far, and it doesn't feel like it feels closer, if I'm going to be honest, especially as I've mentioned several times now in the last 4 games of the first set. Dan Evans he picked up his level since then and has carried it through. And he's playing some great points, some good games, but Alcaraz just seems to be, anytime he needs to kind of step on it and take control, he does so. Here we go. Cali is great today. Hey, there you go. I'm going back to Cali. I once drove through Humboldt County on my own, and man, was it just beautiful, green, hilly on the highway, no traffic. It was just lovely. I was driving by myself from Vancouver to my university, Arizona State University. Alcaraz with a drop shot, bringing Dan Evans in. Dan Evans tries to redrop, but does not make it over the net. And it's 15-love. Alcaraz taking the first point of the set, just like he did in the first 2 sets. Yeah. Ooh, heard a couple cracks there. Here we go. Good first serve, block back return. Alcaraz fakes the drop and then pushes it up the line. And Dan Evans with the backhand tries to pass Alcaraz as Alcaraz makes his way to the net, but it goes wide. 30-love Carlitos. Lion Eye, welcome Lion Eye. Thank you for your comment. Saying Dan Evans just ain't it. No, not it. Super chat subscriber as well. Lion Eye, nice to meet you if we haven't met before. My name is Covey. I'm not sure if I recall your name or if you changed your handle or something, but nice to have you in here. Dan Evans, another passing attempt as Alcaraz makes his way to the net, and another long ball, and it is another 40-love lead for Alcaraz. Folks, if you didn't know, I'm rocking my official U.S. Open hat. Yep, look at that, baby. My cousin went to the U.S. Open last year, got it for me. Under Armour, very nice hat. It's actually so white and pristine that I refuse to play tennis or pickleball in it. Alcaraz with a game to love. Gerald Aruna, where are you, buddy? Game to love. Todd, Lionite, surprised he even made it this far. I pop in from time to time. Very, very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you for popping in today. Good to have you. I am from Vancouver, BC, Canada. Having a good morning. Had my morning coffee. Dan Evans, down love 1, but on serve. Also down 2 sets to love. Beautiful serve out wide. Alcaraz return is long. There you are, Gerald. I was wondering. There you go. Gerald loves the game to love button. Always helps remind when someone gets a game to love. I love it. Okay, 15 love for Evans. First serve is good. Return nice up the middle. And inside out winner on the +1 from Dan Evans. Hits the sideline. And that's a nice shot. Keys takes second, says Todd. Fantastic finish. We have one in the cards. Let's find out. Looks like a really long game going on over in the Michael Moe Jack Draper. It's still 2-3 in the 4th set. I think it was 2-3 when I mentioned the score about 4 minutes ago. So they must be into a really long service game. Let's double check that point by point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's not excessively long. Okay. It is 40 love here. Dan Evans looking for a game to love. Oh my goodness. Second serve. Alcaraz runs around the backhand and hit a forehand that must have been like 106 miles an hour. What a bullet. Literally zero chance for Dan Evans whatsoever. 4 return winners to 0 for Carlos Alcaraz. So no game to love this time. Wow, I want to see a replay because that was an absolute rocket. Another good serve and another nice return from Alcaraz. Alcaraz almost just hit a one-handed passing shot backhand winner on the run out of desperation, but the backhand went long. So it is a hold. Oh my God. Alcaraz literally missed it by like a millimeter. That was crazy. He has a two-handed backhand and he did a full on the run from behind the baseline, backhand one hand, and it almost was a winner. Missed it by millimeters. It actually landed on the baseline, but it was just a tiny bit wide of the sideline where they intersect there. Crazy. All right, 1-1 here. Alcaraz looking to keep rolling, try and end this match in 3 if he can. Sure, Dan Evans has different plans and ideas. Who will execute theirs better? Forehand Alcaraz, chip back from Evans. Forehand Alcaraz cross court, another chip from Evans. Forehand inside in. This time Alcaraz is just pulverizing the ball, and he is on at the moment. 15 love. Yeah, he's won. And the second forehand was just, devastating. Alcaraz's forehand starting to pick up some steam here in the second half of this match so far. Another good serve and a block return into the net. 30-love Carlitos. It's crazy. Dan Evans seems so fit. I mean, he's 33 years old. He doesn't feel like he's 13 years older than Alcaraz with the way he moves around and stuff. He might kind of look it with his, it looks like he's kind of balding and he's got short hair and whatnot, but he doesn't feel like he's 13 years older. And that's a testament to his ability to stay fit on this tour full of a lot of youngsters. Ooh, Alcaraz +1 lands, skids off the baseline. I think Evans was maybe expecting that to go long, and then his reply goes into the net. So now 40-love for Alcaraz, looking for another. Gerald, say it with me. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see if it can happen. Good first serve, block back return, forehand drop from Alcaraz. Dan Evans gets to it, and then Alcaraz lobs, but Dan Evans backhand overhead. Now forehand Alcaraz inside out, backhand chip Evans. We're neutralized. Alcaraz with another drop, and Dan Evans gets that one too, and then he pokes it over the net, but Alcaraz with a nice little poke back to the other side, and this time Dan Evans was unable to get to it. Alcaraz smiles, and it's a game to love. It's a perfect example of what I mean by Dan Evans doesn't feel like he's a 33-year-old. The fact that he chased that ball down, the drop, then Alcaraz lobs him, chases that down, gets that in play with a backhand overhead. Then Alcaraz plays a couple rally balls, then drops him again. And then Dan Evans got to that one again as well. And I didn't think he honestly was going to get to the second one. He did, but then Alcaraz just pushes the ball into the open court. Here you go. Gerald is on it. Lots of games to love, buddy. A lot of them happening. What the heck, folks? Michael Moe and Draper are still in the same game that I've been talking about for like 8 minutes. Holy crap. This is how many points it's been. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's 12 points in this game. So Draper's had 2 break points and is desperately trying to get this break. He still has a break point opportunity. Also, Cam Norrie still on serve in the second set, down a set against Arnaldi. Matteo. You got Matteo Arnaldi and you got Matteo Berrettini. Is Berrettini still in it? I know he was in this half of the draw. No, Rinderknecht beat Berrettini. Berrettini retired in the second set in that one. All right, Dan Evans looking to stay level with Alcaraz, and the unreturned serve. A good start to game number 4 for the Brit. Draper 10 minutes and counting, says Todd. Yeah, that's a long game going on over there. Nope, not anymore. Jack Draper breaks, and he's up 4-2. Now just 2 games away from a spot in the final 16. Oh, big serve. Second serve from Evans. And that fooled Alcaraz. He's looking down as though it looked like he thought the ball was long. But again, all electronic line calling. So if they request a replay, it's not gonna change the verdict. It's just gonna show them how close it was in or out. Ooh, Alcaraz floats a shot at kind of like an overhead shot there, and Dan Evans jumps and hits a backhand volley or backhand overhead winner. Nicely done. Tough shot. Evans, 40-love. First serve is a let. Man, it's a good first serve. Alcaraz with a drop on his second shot. Dan Evans gets to that, redrops. Alcaraz gets to that. Evans volleys that. And Alcaraz gets to the volley cross court, but then his forehand goes long. Another game to love. Okay, so in this third set, Alcaraz starts with a game to love. Dan Evans holds the next game with game to 15. Then Alcaraz game to love. And now Dan Evans games to love. So 3 games to love in 4 games in this third set. And Alcaraz with an ace up the tee. 15 love. Adrian Wilson, hello, buddy. Welcome, Game to Love, folks. Welcome, buddy. Good to have you in the chat. Hey, Adrian, if you haven't done so, hit that like button. We're trying to get to 100. So far, we're only at 42. Also, subscribe, folks. Any folks, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You know how it goes. Another easy point. Alcaraz, unreturned serve, and it's 30 love. Good serve right to the body, block back up the middle. Now Alcaraz makes his way to the net, volleys one. Dan Evans gets to it, pushes it up the line. Alcaraz backs up, lobs. Dan Evans, oh, that lands in. Now Dan Evans with an overhead from the baseline. Alcaraz blocks that one back, but no, it lands on his own side of the net. So no game to love for the first time in this third set for Alcaraz. And it is 30-15. Adrian saying, only been half watching following this so far, but Evans is clearly struggling to compete here, even though he seems to be playing really, really well. Yeah, that's a really good assessment. I agree with you fully there. Good serve from Alcaraz out wide. Ooh, but the block back return, but the +1 from Alcaraz is a backhand up the line, which goes long. 30 all. So finally a little bit of adversity for Carlitos in this set. He had 2 games to love in his previous 2 service games. Good serve. Alcaraz. Return is long from Evans. Game point Carlitos. Cod Hill saying yes. Hashtag overmatched. Yeah. There you go. Oh, Alcaraz with a good serve. Block back return, short ball, and the +1 up the line. Alcaraz, it's a winner, and he's up 3-2. No consolidations. What am I talking about? No one has broken here in the third set. Good job, Carly.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
Okay. Here we are. Alcaraz up. What is going on here? It says, my scoreboard says Dan Evans is up 3-2. That is incorrect, folks. Alcaraz is up 3-2. So disregard the scoreboard. I'm not sure what's going on there. But my scoreboard here, over there. It says Dan Evans up 3-2. That is incorrect score. It's actually Alcaraz up 3-2, and we are on serve. Evans will serve here. So, what is happening now? It's saying that it's 2-all, 30-all. So, not sure what's going on. Everything's haywire. There we go. Alcaraz 3-2. We are proper now, folks. So, in case you were wondering what was up, that was up, but it is un-up. It's back to being down. Yep, Evans is pretty resourceful, says Adrian. Got to give him that. Usually he has a good attitude, even when if overmatched. You're right, he does. And I would agree with you. Yeah, he has a good, loving the comments here, Adrian. Scoreboard is wrong. Alcaraz held. Yes, thank you. Okay, here we go. Dan Evans serving 2-3, looking to stay in this match. And if he is to stay in this match, he's going to have to win this set, the next one, and then fight for a chance in the round of 16. The only way he can do that as of this moment is by winning a 5th set. Daunting task against the world number 1. But you never know, folks. You just never know. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, here we go. Evans serving 2-3. First serve is a good one. Alcaraz chip return inside out forehand from Evans. Alcaraz pushes that. It's a floater, and Dan Evans with a forehand cross-court volley puts it away into the open court. Have the scoreboards been hacked by Dan Evans' team? Maybe. Refresh the scoreboard. It's not about me refreshing it. It's like its own website that refreshes by the second. So if it's wrong, it has nothing to do with us being able to refresh it or not. It's just little glitch that we can't fix. But anyways, we're all good. We don't have to worry about that anymore. It's Dan Evans up 30 love, as he had a very, very deft little +1. He looked like he was going to drop it, but he instead pushed it to the far corner. Here we go. 30 love, first serve. Good. Backhand return up the middle. Dan Evans goes inside out up the line once again from the middle, and Alcaraz again misses on the backhand. Dan Evans has heavily been targeting the Alcaraz backhand, which obviously makes sense. Alcaraz's forehand is literally a bazooka, but more so than anyone else I've seen of late. He's really like constantly, trying to make his way up by. Oh, Alcaraz with a clean winner off the serve. So no game to love, 40-15. Luana Tager saying Carlos winning obviously. Yeah, so far so good for Carlitos. Return winners 5-0 for Alcaraz in this one. Okay. Man, I cannot stop yawning. This is crazy. Some guy decided to get up in the middle of the game and walk out. The umpire told him to hurry up. Here it is, 40-15, double game point, Evans. Good first serve, and it's unreturned. I don't know, was that an ace? I couldn't tell because Alcaraz is in a shady part now. 3 games apiece. No changeover. We're getting right to it. Alcaraz serving. But I am going to give Dan Evans a button there because that was a good little effort.
It's an evolution. Talking about Dan Evans forever and ever.
Dan Evans takes the first point in this game number 7. And it is love 15. Jack Draper now serving for the match. He's up 5-3. He's up 2-1 against Michael Moe. Matteo Arnaldi, 2-0 lead against. Oh my heavens. Alcaraz with the softest little cross-court drop shot. And Dan Evans, that went off the sideline. Dan Evans saying something to the umpire, but it is 15 all. Alcaraz with just the sweetest little touch there. Arnaldi has just taken the second set, so he's up 2-0 against Cameron Norrie. Winner of the Arnaldi-Norrie match will face the winner of this one. So there you go. Luana saying surname is pronounced with an A like Taylor Swift. Tager. Luana Tager. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that. Tager. Got it. Adrian Wilson. Yikes. That's why you target the backhand, because the Alcaraz forehand doubles as a weapons grade missile launcher. It really does. Jack, at least one Brit is winning. Great hold though, says Adrian. Good play in the forecourt to finish the points. Fantastic lob from Arnaldi to finish the set. Didn't see that one, but here we go. Alcaraz under pressure here, 15-40. So it's a double break point here for Evans at the right time. Trying to put some pressure on Carlitos. Gene is saying, oh, Arnaldi's up 2 sets. Wow. Here comes Evans on the Alcaraz serve. Again, double break point First serve is a rocket, but it's blocked back. Now forehand Alcaraz, backhand slice Evans. Forehand Alcaraz inside in. Evans cross court forehand. Alcaraz forehand up the middle. Evans backhand. Alcaraz chips that one. And now he's at the net. Alcaraz. Oh my goodness. Alcaraz hit a chip shot. Okay, the rally's still going on. Overhead Alcaraz. Dan Evans playing the craziest defense, but finally Alcaraz hits a volley into the open court, and Dan Evans in anger throws his racket full speed into the ground after playing incredible defense. Actually, Alcaraz started the point playing incredible defense and then neutralized, goes on offense, and then Dan Evans plays incredible defense. Alcaraz had a volley. Dan Evans lobs that. Alcaraz with the overhead smash. Dan Evans gets that. Now, and then Alcaraz pushes that last shot. It was a volley into the open court, and then Dan Evans just launches his racket right into the court at full speed out of frustration. I kind of would be frustrated too. And then just yells at his box. They're showing an ultra slow-mo of him throwing the racket. Poor guy. It's like, he's like, I would have won that point against anyone else. Alcaraz says, nope. What a return. Awesome. That was a quality serve to the body, but handled brilliantly. We got some emojis from Luana Tager. And the break is there as Alcaraz makes way to the net, and a floater from Dan Evans goes past Alcaraz and lands on the line. And then after the anger and frustration, the opposite amount of elation now from the Brit as he finds himself up a break here in the third set. Now just 2 games away from forcing a fourth. Draper wins now, says Gene. Yeah, Draper has won 3-1. It is official. Wow, amazing point, incredible. Oh, Dan, that's unfortunate. Come on, Dan, says Gene. That point was just incredible, guys. Alcaraz, he was behind the baseline for 2 shots that Dan Evans got back that looked like there's no way he was going to get that. Then he somehow turns it into offense and then finally puts it away. But in the end, it was Dan Evans getting the break. So the Brit is a happy camper. Oh, by the way, he hit a tweener in the middle of that, did Dan Evans. So Dan Evans is at 2 tweeners in this match. Both of them were in. Lost the point on both of them, though. Is Alcaraz even human? If Alcaraz has to play Arnaldi instead of Norrie, that is terrible as a neutral. What a backhand winner, a kind of improvised push slice up the line. Super accurate. Yeah, that was an emotional roller coaster if you're a Dan Evans fan right there. There were about a minute and a half of just the highest highs and the lowest low. Pretty funny. Okay, Dan Evans now up 5-3. He's up a break. Ready to serve here. And we get the Evans roar. The game merited it. Merited it. Merited it. Merited it. Merited it. All right, finally, we are ready for game number 8. Or are we? Yeah, Dan Evans trying to figure out, the sun's kind of right in his eyes, so he's trying to figure out where to stand. He's actually in this awkward spot. So before it was the court was being covered lengthwise, like, half court or whatever. Now it's side to side. So Dan Evans is kind of half in the shade, half in the sun. Alcaraz with a nice return up the line. Now we're into a rally. Backhand slice Evans. Forehand Alcaraz. Backhand slice Evans. Backhand slice Alcaraz. Forehand inside in Evans. Alcaraz, forehand. Backhand slice Evans. Backhand Alcaraz. backhand Evans up the line, forehand cross-court Alcaraz, back forehand Evans makes his way to the net. Alcaraz backhand pass as Evans makes his way to the net, and that was a tough one, but a good one. Alcaraz, he's up love 15 on the Evans serve. Dan Evans might turn into Dance Evans if he wins a set versus Carlos. Bhangra. He'll do some Bhangra dancing if he wins the set. Here we go. Love 15. Evans. Good first serve. Alcaraz deep return up the middle. Evans to the backhand of Alcaraz. Alcaraz makes his way to the net and volleys off the floater there, and it's love 30. Alcaraz getting aggressive here, trying to break right back. Not trying to allow the hope to grow for Evans. They're showing Jimmy Butler, a good friend of Carlos Alcaraz. Jimmy Butler is a basketball player, also known as Jimmy Buckets, for the Miami Heat. He actually traveled down to South America to watch Alcaraz. He's a big fan. He watches Alcaraz matches all the time. He has Instagram stories when he's in different countries and he's watching late night and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Good to see these stars have their friendships. Says Gene. It is now 15-30 Evans on his serve. So he's down, looking to level it up. First serve is good. Block return, nice and deep. Evans to the backhand of Alcaraz. Forehand Evans, backhand Alcaraz, backhand Evans, forehand Alcaraz, forehand Evans, backhand Alcaraz to the forehand of Evans. Alcaraz makes his way in, and another volley, and another good put away. Very smart. He waited for the right time to follow an approach shot in. He looked like he could have tried it on the shot before, but he smartly didn't. And then he waited for the better chance. So these are the types of things that a year ago Alcaraz would have had a tough time reining in the desire to try and end a point. Now he's got a little bit more mental maturity. And so here we go. Break point. It's 15-40. Good serve. Block back return. Now Evans makes his way to the net. Alcaraz tries to pass him, but it's a volley from Evans. Alcaraz gets that. And what happened there? Oh, Alcaraz is he hit a second volley, and again, it's into the shady part, so I couldn't see where the ball went. But in the end, it did not land in, and it's Evans who has saved one break point, but there is another break point for Alcaraz right now. Oh dear, says Adrian, needs to come in better quality or point situations than that against Alcaraz. Covey, we both need a strong masala chai. Yeah, I would definitely could go for some chai right now. Oof, would help me keep the eyes open. Good serve to the forehand of Alcaraz, and Alcaraz forehand into the net. Dan Evans with a roar and a fist pump as he brings it back to deuce after saving two break point opportunities. Alcaraz having a chat kind of with his box. He's not looking at them, but he's talking. You can see he's talking to them about what is going on in his head. Keys breaks in the third set, up 3-1. Thank you, Gene. And another good serve. Oh, Alcaraz with a roar of anger as Dan Evans' serve goes to the forehand of Alcaraz, and the forehand goes long. So, yeah, Alcaraz, right after that ball landed, he's yelling in anger, frustration, I should say. Maybe not anger. So, okay. Arnaldi up 1-love in the third set after going up 2-sets to love. We'll face the winner of this one. Keys is up a break, 3-1 and serving. So Samsonova in some big trouble if she cannot break back here. She'll be down 4-1. Okay, here's Evans, game point. Good serve, Alcaraz block return. Evans inside in forehand. Alcaraz chups that back, and it's long. And it's the consolidation for Dan Evans, and he is one game away from forcing a fourth set. Whoa, I thought I pressed it.
It's an evolution. Talking about Dan Evans forever and ever.
Excuse me, little cough there. All right, Alcaraz serving to stay in the set. 3-5 here. First serve into the tape. Here comes the second serve. Man, it is warm in my little studio booth here. Need to find a way to put a fan in here. Second serve is good. Block back, up the middle. Forehand Alcaraz inside out. Backhand slice. And that one's long. 15-love Alcaraz. Alcaraz definitely will want to win this game and force Dan Evans to serve it out in this set. Yes, make him angry, Dan. On round, he breaks 2-0 in the third set. Wow. Double fault Carlitos, 15 all here. All right, 15 all. First serve, ace up the tee, 30-15. Arnaldi's cruising here, folks. He's up 2 sets and a break. 2 points away from a 3-love lead in what could be the final set. Alcaraz, 30-15, trying to make this the final set. Beautiful kick serve, and the return goes into the alley from Dan Evans, 40-15. Are you shocked Norrie is losing? Not really. Yeah, not really. I mean, I know Norrie's a really good player, and he's a formidable opponent for most guys, but he's not like one of those invincible guys who always goes through everyone he's supposed to beat. Not at all. He's lost early in all slams. Yeah, there you go. Snehill kind of nailed it there. Oh, beautiful. +1. Dan Evans makes his way to the net, but Alcaraz calmly goes backhand up the line, passing him, and he saves his hold here, forcing Dan Evans to try to serve it out, and he will try just that after this little changeover. 5-4 Dan Evans. So Jack Draper becomes the first man to reach the final 16 from the top half of the draw. The bottom half is set. We've got Djokovic versus Goyo. We have Fritz versus Stricker. Shelton versus Paul. Tiafoe versus Rinky Hijikata, one of the best names in all of tennis. Up there with Katie Volynets. Alcaraz Evans will face Arnaldi Norrie winner. Zverev Dimitrov will face Sinner Wawrinka. Medvedev Baez will face the winner of Jari and Diminor. Michael Moe and Draper, it was over. So Draper will face the winner of Rublev and Rinderknecht. As for the women, it goes a little something like this. The round of 16 is set on the top half. We have Iga versus Penko. We've got Wozniacki versus Goff. That'll be both those are big matchups. Bencic, Kirstea, and we have Muchova versus Wang. Also, yeah, there you go. So that's what we have set. And then the other half will be set today, at the end of today. So Dan Evans now needs 4 points or maybe more if it goes to deuce to force a fourth set. Will Alcaraz break at the last possible chance, as often the top players do? Draper will Rublev. We'll play Rublev or Rinderknecht. Okay, first serve is a fault. Big service game for Evans. Here you go. Second serve, Alcaraz return up the middle. Forehand, Evans. Alcaraz rips a forehand as he steps around the backhand, and that was a bullet. Dan Evans got a piece of it, but landed back on his own side, and it's love 15. Alcaraz looks to be on his toes. Juan Carlos Ferrero given his charge some words of encouragement. Oh, Draper will beat Rublev or Rinderknecht. Gotcha. I wasn't sure if you meant Draper will play or will what, but there you go. Another good return, Alcaraz. Now back. Ooh, and then the Alcaraz's second shot is a backhand into the net. So Dan Evans loudly cheers to his box after he wins that point. 15 all. He's just 3 points away from the set. Here we go. 15 all. Nice serve, Evans. Return from Alcaraz. Evans comes in with a volley and he puts it into the open court. Alcaraz cannot reach that. And it's 30-15. Just 2 points now. Nori says, Adrian, Nori has really struggled for any kind of form since March. Surprisingly, I think. But going out in round 3 here would really just be an extension of his current slump. Not surprising in itself. Yeah, there you go. I perfectly agree with you there. Evans always shouts so loudly at his box, LOL. Yeah, for sure. I could see how some players could find that annoying. Here we go. 30-15, second serve. Good serve. Alcaraz return deep. Forehand, Evans. Forehand, Alcaraz is long. So it is now Evans with a double set point, 40-15. I should probably charge my computer. It's getting low now. All right, good serve, Evans. Return up the middle. Now forehand, Alcaraz. Ooh, up the line. It's a crusher, and it's a winner. So not over just yet. 40-30 for Dan Evans. All right, second set point here. Dan Evans, 40-30. Looking to wrap it up right here. Alcaraz looking to stop him. First serve is into the net. All right, Dan Evans. Good first serve. Forehand return. Chip back from Evans. Forehand to Alcaraz. Forehand Evans makes way to the net. Alcaraz. Oh, right at Evans, who was at the net. Alcaraz slipped, but Dan Evans' backhand goes into the net. He had the whole entire court and the set on his racket. Both players on the ground after that point. Dan Evans with a great forehand up the line. Alcaraz hits a backhand right to Evans' backhand. Alcaraz falls over, and then Evans' backhand into the net. Then he drops to his knee, drops his racket, and then laughs at towards his box, saying, "What the heck am I doing?" Alcaraz from his butt, literally sitting on his butt, and he's smiling and laughing, thinking, "Wow, did I get away with that one?" Don't choke Evans, please. That is terrible form from Evans. Big chance missed. Here we go, deuce. Good first serve. Oh, shank return from Alcaraz. Another set point for Dan Evans. I feel like Evans thought Alcaraz's shot was going to hit the tape because it was so close. I think that's maybe what kind of got him. He still should have hit it, though. Alcaraz chips the serve. Dan Evans, forehand, backhand Alcaraz. Backhand Evans, forehand Alcaraz. Backhand Evans, forehand Alcaraz. Backhand Evans. Forehand Alcaraz. Backhand Evans. Forehand up the line, Alcaraz. Now he makes his... Oh, Dan Evans, great defense. Lobs it, lands on the baseline of Alcaraz. And then up the line, backhand from Evans. But Alcaraz comes in and hits that volley cross court, saving another set point against him. And it is again deuce. Wow, some very tense moments, but high quality play in these moments. Loving it. Loving this. Adrian saying neither of them can believe it. Refocus, Dan, refocus. Come on, Evans, says Gene. There we go. Okay, great serve and volley. Now Alcaraz tries to lob him, and he does lob him. Dan Evans races back, tries to lob back, and it lands in. Alcaraz with an overhead. Now we're back to a rally. Forehand Alcaraz goes into the net. And Dan Evans cheers. The crowd cheers. Alcaraz looking at the spot where Evans' overhead landed. He thinks it was out, but of course, he's not going to get any different result. And it is another set point for Dan Evans. Long game here, says Jean. I used to call Jean Jean, like French people say, until he was like, it's like Jean. Here we go. Fourth set point for Evans. First serve is long. Wow, what a lob from Evans. Yeah, off of Alcaraz's lob. He chases it down well behind the baseline, lobs one of his own, lands on the baseline himself. Just craziness going on. Second serve blocked by Alcaraz, nice and deep. Now, backhand from Evans. It's an overhead for Alcaraz. He puts it away. Another deuce. Alcaraz under huge pressure, pulling up with some big points here. Dan Evans, he's going to want to wrap this up quickly. You can't keep giving the world number one too many opportunities, or you're going to get bit at some point. The amount of defensive lobs that each of these players is hitting in this match is incredible. Such good defense, such good movement from both players. It's a deuce here once again for the third time. First serve, Evans goes off the tape, super high, and then lands just out. It's a second serve on the way. Good serve, return nice and deep. Now, Alcaraz hit a short ball backhand. He put too much on it, and it went long. Now, Dan Evans has a fifth set point. Alcaraz is requesting to see the review. I think that's just a way to take a little breath, get a little timeout for free. I don't think he actually, his ball, he ripped that ball. He went way too hard. I think he could have gone a little. I think he went like 100%. He could have gone, well, you know what? That's his style. I'm not going to tell him what to do. I was going to say he could go 80% there, but you know what? Go all in or just go home. And there it is, unreturned serve, and Dan Evans takes the third set, 6-4. He's still alive at the U.S. Open, down 2-1. Nicely done from the Brit.
It's an evolution. Talking about Dan Evans forever and ever.
Okay, guys, I am going to go grab myself another coffee because I have just been yawning my face off for like the last hour and a half. So bear with me. I'm going to take a break. We've got a little break between sets anyways, so I'll see you in a couple minutes. Word.
There should be no special rules for Novak Djokovic at all.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. Here we are for something groundbreaking. Some might call it trial of the century. Some might call it trial of all time.
We did not expect to be covering the first Djokovic watch-along of the year, and he's not playing up an opponent. He's playing him against the state. Shout out to everyone joining us. Of course, we've never had so many people in the live chat. I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to bring all 23,000 of you up to date with what's happened so far.
I did not think by the third set Ben would be rooting for Rafa and JG would be wishing it's all over. Yeah, a bit weird.
I mean, I just want the pain to end.
I don't even care if he's crawling on his knees and hitting the ball over the net by the fifth. If he gets there, it'll be incredible.
I'm just calling it as it is. I'm trying to be objective watching the match, and he's lost the match. What do you want me to do?
He hasn't lost it. He's still in it. Why do you keep saying he's lost it?
You think? Okay, put a bet on then. What odds would you get on Rafa? 2 sets down.
8.
Just take a bet on. Seeing as he's not out.
I was just disappointed you're not supporting your man.
No, you're being delusional, Ben. Just grow up.
Not supporting
Stop
your
being
man.
so delusional.
Not supporting your man. Come on, you guys. What are you doing? I feel like I'm rallying for all of the Rafa fans out there now. Crazy.
Yeah, because you just need to grow up, mate. Like, be realistic.
I've watched tennis many times. I've seen comebacks many times.
Okay. You see Medvedev lose from this position? Don't think so.
Anything can happen.
It's so good! He's done it! Rafael Nadal has won his 21st Grand Slam. He's beaten Daniel Medvedev 7-5 in the 5th set. It's just been an absolute epic occasion. I can't believe he's done it. Rafael Nadal.
What?
Second time Australian Open champion. Vamos!
Djokovic. He's down the line!
Carlos Alcaraz has won! He is in the final! JJ's it! He has done it! Vamos! Carlos Alcaraz beats Novak Djokovic in the Madrid semi-finals. I've never quite seen anything quite like this
and she doesn't need him. She doesn't need him. She falls to the floor. Iga Swiatek has won another Grand Slam. Amazing. Look at the emotion all over her face. They embrace at the net. Wow. Oh, Marin Cilic hits the forehand down the line. Oh my gosh. And we have match point, ladies and gentlemen.
John, Game to Love Podcast. When you say you were confused about your tactics, what do you mean?
It's into the net and
He's done it! He's done it! Novak Djokovic has won Wimbledon. Not lost here since 2017.
Oh! An ace! It's just ace number 5 of the match. Carlos Alcaraz has come through in 5. My partner has literally just woken up for work and I've not been to bed yet.
Yes! He's done it! Carlos Alcaraz! And look at him on the floor crying.
So
he's
good.
He's sobbing, he's thrown the racket.
Oh.
What a day for Carlos Alcaraz. He wins the match in 4 sets. Vamos, Carlitos!
Backhands in down the line. Cross court from Iga.
She's gone long! She's gone long! Iga wins a 3rd Grand Slam.
Djokovic get a good serve in.
Hour 32 on the clock.
Ace! Djokovic gets 6!
Okay, folks, thank you for bearing with me. I had to go grab a coffee, 2 plums, and a peach because I haven't had breakfast. Anyways, Alcaraz has just won the first game of this set, and it was a game to love, 40 love. So we are 1 game in, and let me hit this button. Ooh, we got a Keys victory, says Gene. Thank you for that, buddy. Let to box saying Evans entering the GOAT debate. Way to go, Evans, says Adrian. I did have Alcaraz in 4 with Evans winning 3rd set. Yeah, I was going to say 4. I think I was between 3 and 4, but in the end I said 3. So I was wrong on this one. Evans doesn't want to go. And I'll grab a beer, says Adrian. Don't remind me of AO 2022 Nole versus AO government. Evans looked in great form when he played last week. Practice match with Casper, says Peter. Ooh, second serve. Alcaraz rips a backhand winner and looks to be on his toes to start this 4th set. Ben JG, the best duo, so naturally good at streams. Yeah, they really are. I love how they play off each other. I love how sure of himself JG is, and I like how Ben kind of plays it neutral. And they're also really good at kind of like knowing when to let the other person chat without speaking over each other. It's tough to do sometimes. Like I did a couple streams with different commentators that, you know, we don't meet in person, right? Like I'm in Vancouver, they're in Philadelphia or England or wherever they may be. And so sometimes you like speak over each other, but they have that natural rhythm where they know, yeah, they're great. They're great. Game to love. Thanks, buddy. I was wondering. 6-1 in the 4th, says Lion Eye. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about something like that. Nori in trouble, says Todd. Alcaraz already looks like he means much more serious business this set, for sure. 15 all. Evans, ace up the tee, 30-15. These plums are from my backyard. They're my favorite plums I've ever had. They're like the flavor and everything. They're like when I think of plum, I think of this exact plum, the plums from the tree in our backyard. They're just so good. Look at how golden that is. It's amazing. First serve is a fault at 30-15. What do I do with the pit? Another good serve. Alcaraz, forehand inside out, goes just wide. 40-15. So after Alcaraz comes out guns a-blazing, Evans is finding his footing again, just like he did from the end of this first set onwards. Good serve, chip return, and Evans easy +1 finish, 1-all here in the fourth. Evans' first name is Dan. Can he win a set? Yes, he can. He's real, not a flash in the pan. He's doing good, even though I'm not a fan. Snail, are you the Covey or am I the Covey? Covey means poet, in case you guys wonder what I'm talking about. Alcaraz looking to make Evans regret ever winning a set against him. An absolute must-hold for Evans. Yeah, and he did very well there. Ooh, Dan Evans chops a short ball into the net. Alcaraz up 15-love. This time with my instant coffee, I put a bigger scoop, so hopefully a little more caffeine. Good first serve, chop back return. Alcaraz chip and charge and puts away a nice volley with the forehand. He's up 30-love. We're at 43 likes, y'all. Trying to get to 100. Might be tough. We only got about 57 people in right now, about 60. So thank you to everyone who has given us some love. Really appreciate it. Alcaraz. Oh, my goodness. A beautiful serve and volley, but the volley was a drop volley from mid-court. And Dan Evans still couldn't get to it. It was just the most beautiful touch on that. Jeez. This kid, man. Sometimes I'm like, what is he doing from there? I thought Evans will for sure get to that, but it was so perfect. Unreal. 40-love. First serve into the net. Here comes the second. Double fault. No game to love, Gerald. I don't know how I came up with that, honestly, but it wasn't bad. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Pretty solid. Yeah, forehand return has been letting Alcaraz down for a while. Many of the missed returns must have been from that wing. Yes, he can be spectacular when the ball's in his strike zone, but many misses here. Yeah, Snahill is a natural tennis poet. Funny because I just created an Instagram account called @thepickleballpoet. Feel free to add me if you'd like. So yeah, funny you said that, Todd. Snahill is a natural tennis poet. All right, Alcaraz holds. He's up 2-1. Yeah, so there you go.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
All right, 2-1 Carlitos as I cut this peach open. Oh, yeah. Having a full meal in front of you guys. Hope you don't mind. Alcaraz having his little drinks in the changeover. Nori's going down. Evans got a set. Wow, says Luana Tager. Do you think Pegula has a chance? I think she has a chance, but I'm choosing Svitolina in 3 today. But she has a chance. I don't think she has a chance to win it all, though. I just don't see it yet. I think maybe she could win one, but in her career, if everything goes exactly right. But yeah. Todd, haha, I never do poetries, but I was getting a bit bored and managed to come up with something from nowhere. Not bad at all, Snail. Pegula plays Elina Svitolina, right? That could be good. Yes. Yes, she does. Svitolina is, it's going to be later today. And the winner of that will face Madison Keys, because Madison Keys is through. As is Jack Draper. Arnaldi on the verge. He's up 5-2 and 2 sets on Nori. Rinder, Knech, and Rublev are on serve in the first set. Ooh, Alcaraz is a very nice forehand cross court as Dan Evans tried to come in after his serve, but his volley on the outstretch was into the net. Sabalenka is through after beating Burrell earlier today. Kasatkina over Minin. Keys over Samsonova. Yep. So we'll have another few matches coming up today. Quite a few, actually. Not including the ones that are currently being played. There's 9 matches yet to start today. Alcaraz up 30 love on the Evans. Love 30 on the Evans serve here. So Evans got to be careful. As who was it that said it in the earlier? Who was it? Was it Todd? I'm going to go back and read his comment. Yeah, it was Todd. Todd said an absolute must hold for Evans. I feel like that's what's happening here as well. If he goes down a break, it's going to be tough for him, but not impossible, but tough. Oh, Alcaraz misses a return and then again yells in frustration. He's not fully like Alcaraz started the match like crisp. Everything was hitting the middle of the racket. He had 3 or 4 really deft touch finesse points that like all the drop shots were dropping, all this, redrops and slices and all this stuff. And it's not like he's lost it, but it's not as sharp as he was. Another beautiful big serve from Dan Evans, and Alcaraz gets a racket on it and goes directly into the ground. He didn't time that properly, and it's 30 all. So Dan Evans finds himself out of some big trouble there. Good serve to the body. Alcaraz returns it. Now Dan Evans makes way to the net. Volleys. Alcaraz chases that down off the high part of the net. And then he kicks the ball after it hits the net and stays on his side. He kicks it in frustration. I think Alcaraz is kicking himself for not getting any returns when he was up 30 love and 30-15. Or love 30 and 15-30. Pegula just cannot get past top-tier players at majors. I agree. Monsef. Cool 11 Jabeur win today. Yeah, I hope so. She's going to play. She's my pick to win the whole thing. Bye-bye, Nori. Salute and thank you for your service. There you go. Dunkirk Day. That's what Peter was saying earlier. Oh, Alcaraz with a backhand slice into the net. And then right away looks at his bench. And Dan Evans at the same time yells in ecstasy as he holds 2 apiece here. I'm not a fan of Carlos, but this is surprising what we are witnessing here. In what way, Gene? Or like the fact that he lost a set? Or sometimes Alcaraz still expects a bit too much of himself, trying to hit the ball too early or going for a bit too big of a shot. For sure. And he, in the next 2-3 years, he's going to he's going to figure that out, and he's going to be really, really tough to beat because he still does think, okay, I'm under some pressure. I want to end this point. And he's much better than he was a year or 2 years ago. We got Gene. At least he is suffering a little bit. Yeah, but I think it's actually good for him. You know, if you go, okay, yeah, it's obviously pretty amazing if you could just win every set and win a major. But it's also pretty good. Like last year, the run was incredible, where he went 5 sets against Cilic, 5 sets against, was it Tiafoe, and he went 5 sets against Sinner. You know, and it was just like, it was incredible. And that hardened him enough for the final, you know, and maybe even hardened him enough so that he could beat Djokovic in this year's Wimbledon final, you know? So I don't think suffering is a bad thing. You just don't want to have like multiple matches that are going to tire you out for the next round. You know what I mean? Oh, what a beautiful point there from both players, but Alcaraz gets it in the end. Both players running everywhere. Dan Evans smiling even though he lost the point. Alcaraz raises his fist up in joy, and it's 30-love for Alcaraz. Alcaraz hit a cross court off of a drop. Dan Evans ripped a backhand up the line, which Alcaraz got to and went cross court forehand. Evans wasn't able to reach it. So, Gene, you were saying something about it's surprising what we're witnessing, but I don't think it's that. I think and I've talked about this before. Like, I'm a hockey fan as well, and hockey is very like the heavy favorite will lose often. So I come from a sport where upsets are normal, and so I find that in tennis fans expect the higher seed to just win straight sets, no problem every time. And I don't really agree with that. I don't, like if Alcaraz loses a set to Dan Evans, I don't consider that like surprising. I just think that, Dan Evans is a 33-year-old professional who has played many years of tennis and is a good player, and he won a set. I would be surprised if it goes 5. That would be, I'd say, surprising. But just for one set, I don't consider that surprising. Yeah, that's just me. But I definitely find tennis fans, and again, maybe if I wasn't, from a hockey country, and Alcaraz holds, by the way, Dan Evans tries to lob him, but that goes long, and it's 3-2. Yeah, so coming from the sport of hockey, I think maybe that's the difference, is like there's just so many upsets. Like, for example, this year in the playoffs, the number 1 team in the whole league lost in the first round. Not only that, they ended up being the greatest team in the history of hockey in terms of their record in the season. They accumulated more points than anyone in the 120-year history, but they lost in the first round of the playoffs to the 8th seed, the very lowest seed that they could have played. So I don't know if it's because I'm a hockey fan and that's how I see it, but I find in tennis, everyone always expects every favorite to just win with no problem. I don't necessarily see it that way. Anyways, but yeah, that's just me, and maybe that's because of my hockey background. Carlos practically had a bye after his first opponent's injury, for sure. He only played, he won 6-2, and he was up 3-2, and then that was it. Practice session for Carlos. A little bit more than practice. That's a fair assessment. Arnaldi wins. Good job, Arnaldi. We'll face the winner of this one. Wow, look who we got. Ems, how are you doing? Saying hi, Covey. Well, hello back at you. Good. Looking forward to Svitolina Pegula. Will be tearing my hair out watching Love Them Both. Yeah, I'm picking Svitolina in 3, though I'll be happy for whoever makes it through. And great to have you in the chat, to see your lovely face on the avatar and to see your name here. So really happy that you joined us, Ems. Hope everything is well in your neck of the world. Adrian saying Alcaraz played 3 5-setters before he even made the final of the U.S. Open last year. Cilic, Sinner, Tiafoe. Yes. Hi, M, says Gerald. Was that not the Boston Bruins? Yes, it was, Todd Hill. They had the best regular season record in NHL history, and the NHL has been around since the 1800s, 1893. Sorry, the Stanley Cup's been around until the 1800s. The NHL since like 1903 or something like that. But yeah, it was the Boston Bruins, and then they lost to the Florida Panthers, the 8th seed, in the first round of the playoffs. Hey, Ems, says Gene. Greetings, Ems. Game to love. Was that a game to love? If it was, I'm going to go back and press the button, buddy, because you've been on it all day here. Oh, you're right. It was a game to love. Gerald, this one's for you, buddy. Thank you for keeping me honest. You guys, Dan Evans has changed his shoes. So he went from wearing white Asics to green Asics. Interesting. Rare shoe change in the middle of the set. Or maybe it was after the set. Hey, Gene, Gerald, Todd. Everyone saying hi to Gene. Gene reciprocating the hellos. Gerald keeping me on my toes with all the GTLs. First serve is long for Evans. He's up 15 love. He's on serve here, 2-3. He's down 2-1. Looking to stay level with Carlitos. Good deep return. Dan Evans can't handle that. The second time I've said Devin. I actually played pickleball with my buddy Devin a lot lately. So that's one of the reasons I keep saying Devin instead of Dan Evans. Yeah. All good here, Cubby. Just sleep deprived. Hope all good with you. Yes, everything is good. I've been out in the sun doing a whole bunch of stuff. Got some work to do later on. The serve was long. But yeah, things. Summer has been great. No complaints here. Having a great one and grateful for that. And of course, you know my LA Kings beat Calder Cup Trophy winner Vancouver as an 8th seed in 2012. Yes, and you guys won the cup. For sure. Hey, we've never won a Calder Cup. We did win a Stanley Cup back in 1915 when they were called the Vancouver Millionaires, but our 53-year franchise history has yet to win a Stanley Cup, and it is definitely the one sporting thing that I want to see before I perish from this earth is the Stanley Cup. If you ask me anything that I want, I've already seen Canada win several gold medals in hockey, men's and women's, which is also a very big deal for us here. See, that's the thing, Todd. You're never going to be able to get a gold medal while we're alive, but we still could get a Stanley Cup. Ha, ha, ha. Although you guys did win the Miracle on Ice in 1980 when it was a bunch of non-professionals, blah, blah, blah. But it's all about the pros. We got Connor McDavid. We got Connor Bedard. We got Sidney Crosby. I mean, Nate McKinnon. Just those 4 guys alone. It's like, come on, buddy. All right, Dan Evans up 40-30. Of course, just a little chirp between me and Todd. All in good fun. By the way, Todd, I was a big fan of the Kings when they went on their runs. I love the way that they were built. Huge Drew Doughty fan. Jonathan Quick, Kopitar, of course. Dustin Brown was an absolute menace at his peak. So 2-time captain. Only one of, 2 or 3 players to be an American captain of a team. Believe it or not, the NHL's been around, like I said, since the 1900-somethings. And until 1999 was the first time an American was a captain of the team. Before that, every single captain of a cup-winning team was Canadian. All right, here we go. Alcaraz trying to stay in this game. Dan Evans up 40-30. Alcaraz with a forehand up the line. Dan Evans, good defense. Alcaraz volleys that. And Dan Evans gets to it right before the double bounce, but cannot push it over the net. It's a deuce. So Alcaraz keeps this game alive. Hey, M's got to go. Battery low. Hold the fort, Covey. Will it be Dunkirk Day? The Brits evacuate Flushing Meadows to fight another day while Cam Norrie is gone. Dan Evans looking pretty good, but I still don't give him too much of a chance. Agree, Covey, on hockey. Boston, Tampa, your type. Your Vancouver 2011. Time for a clean slate, my Blackhawks. Man, you guys got Connor Bedard, and you have no idea. This kid is amazing. Like, amazing. He's like potentially a generational star. Deuce. Evans takes a overhead and puts it away easily. Game point for him. M's hello to Peter. Edmonton's exit was astonishing this year. Yeah, Vegas creamed them pretty good. I think, didn't Edmonton win the first game? I think maybe, I don't know, but yeah, Vegas really did a number on them. It was crazy how everyone thought going in that Edmonton was going to take it, and then boom, Vegas cruises for the next 2 rounds, wins the cup. All right, it's advantage Evans. We're into a rally. Backhand slice from Alcaraz. Forehand Evans cross court. Forehand Alcaraz. Ooh, it's a high looper, but lands in. Forehand Evans, backhand Alcaraz. Backhand slice Evans. Backhand Alcaraz cross court. Backhand Evans. Backhand Alcaraz up the line. Forehand cross court Evans. Forehand Alcaraz up the line. Makes his way to the net. It's a lob from Evans that goes nowhere near the court, and it is back to deuce. Rinderknecht breaks Rublev. It's 4-2. Thank you, my friend Gene. Jack Draper wins. Yes, we got that one. Of course. Oh, yeah. So one Brit through. You're right. Won't be Dunkirk Day, Peter. Jack Draper has made it through. Gene, another upset brewing along with Nori? Question mark? Maybe Todd. Draper won. Right on. No Dunkirk Day. Covey time for extended version of Evans' poem. Oh, okay. Let us know, my friend. Are you concocting a poem for us? A Covey? So both the Joko and Carlos are being tested in round 3. Yep, Cap, looks like it. Deuce here. Evans trying to stay level with Alcaraz in this 4th set. It is a 2-1 lead for the current, but not for long, world number 1, Alcaraz. And, great return from Alcaraz deep to the feet of Evans, and Evans was unable to get that backhand over the net, did not scoop it high enough, and it is Alcaraz at the break point, and he looks to be encouraged by his play. He's given himself fist pumps, several of them, as he's waiting, looking at his box, doing this several times. He understands the gravity of this and how he would not want to go to a 5th set. Wow, Evans' 56th visit to the net and a nice overhead finish. Really mining every possible resource here, isn't he? Yeah. Adrian, your comments have just been money all day. Loving it. Yeah, I'm agreeing with virtually everything you've said, and your commentary is perfect. Yeah, you're describing things without bias and very, very accurately, in my opinion. Here we go. Alcaraz backhand. We're into a rally. Backhand slice from Evans. Now Alcaraz forehand up the middle. Backhand from Evans. Alcaraz chases that down. Now Evans has a whole open court, but Alcaraz somehow... Did that go in? Oh my God! Alcaraz just hit the craziest passing shot winner. Unbelievable. And it's a break. And it was even added to the drama because no one knew whether it was in or not. And oh my God, Alcaraz, okay, the ball was about 96% out, but about 4% of it landed on the line. It was a forehand on the full sprint. Dan Evans thought it was long, and then he drops his racket once he hears that there's no out call. He throws his racket into the net, not super angrily, but in frustration. But wow, Alcaraz goes forehand up the line, chases down a very hard volley all the way backhand, another volley forehand, and he chases that down forehand, and then he looks, everyone's looking to the umpire waiting for a call, but there wasn't any, which meant it was in. And there it is. Alcaraz breaks, and he's up 4-2. Ooh, lots of adrenaline on that first serve for Alcaraz because it was about 4 feet long, and I think he hit it about 130 miles an hour. Here we go. Second serve. Alcaraz looking to consolidate. He's got to behoove him to stay calm here, not to get too hyped, especially after that insane winner. All right, we got a backhand slice battle going on. Alcaraz, Evans, Alcaraz. Now forehand Evans, cross court. Forehand Alcaraz to the middle. Backhand Evans, backhand Alcaraz. Backhand slice Evans. Alcaraz runs around that. Hits it to the backhand of Evans. He slices that back. Backhand Evans, Alcaraz up the line. Forehand Evans, forehand Alcaraz. Forehand Evans, forehand Alcaraz. Forehand Evans, forehand Alcaraz with some more pace. Now Evans tries to hit a winner, but it goes long. 15-love. What a game. What a match brewing up here, folks. This 4th set has been very tight. Alcaraz has just broken, and the tension levels have risen. 25-shot rally. Alcaraz takes it 15-love. Okay. Even after losing, he goes off happy to his van. That's it. There you go. That's the end of the poem. I love it. Had way too much Korean food just now, bloated like a balloon. Thank you for that, Cap. I'd sure trade McJesus for Bedard, a bird in the hand. Hope I'm wrong, and Bedard is second coming. You would trade McJesus for Bedard? You mean you would give up Bedard for McJesus? You know what? I mean, it's pretty much, I think everyone right now would say that, but give a year or two, just watch. This Bedard kid, he's from Vancouver. I know a lot about this guy, and he is an absolute rock star, man. The kid has never eaten McDonald's in his life because he's been wanting to be a professional hockey player since he was a baby. He is not human, says Ems. Covey, you missed my previous 2 comments. Oh, sorry, buddy. Sorry. Wow, you're kidding me. Wow again, and another wow. I could go on. That pass was better than mediocre. Yes. So what did Snehal say? Covey, time for extended version. I missed. Sorry, buddy. I got to get... Okay, we're 30 all here. Ooh, Alcaraz hits a forehand into the net. So got to be careful here. But yeah, anyways, McDavid, Bedard, both the Connors, they're going to be household names for life, folks, if you are into hockey. So he said, Covey, time for extended poem. Even after losing, he goes off happy to his van. And that's it. So that was the end of the poem, from what I understand. All right, Alcaraz, second serve at 30-15, 2 hours, 56 minutes into this one. We're in our 4th set. Ooh, very powerful return from Evans, but Alcaraz gets that back. Now forehand, Alcaraz loops in. Backhand from Evans is a short ball. Alcaraz with a beautiful drop shot winner, and it's 40-15. Woo, I thought that was close, but man, his touch has been on all day. From the very first point, Alcaraz has had a smooth touch. He's up 40-15, and he's got 2 points now for a 5-2 lead. What a drop shot, cross court diagonally, just barely over the net, and it's 52 winners to 24 now for Carlitos. No, I understood. You meant that's it was like that's the end of the poem. So no, I got you. Even after losing, he goes off happy to his fan. And then Covey starts rapping because he can. Oh no, it was the Alcaraz had a chance to put away. He was at the net. Dan Evans hit it right at him, but it clipped the net cord and went over Alcaraz's racket, landing in. So Dan Evans saves 1 game point with a little bit of luck. Yeah, it just clipped the top of the net and it went over Alcaraz's racket by 2 inches. Dan Evans apologizes. Alcaraz smiles back at him and says, "Don't worry, buddy. We're having a good time." Here we go. Alcaraz, another game point, 40-30. Big serve to the backhand, chopped back. Forehand Alcaraz. Forehand Evans. Forehand Alcaraz. Backhand Evans. Alcaraz loading up some shots here. Another forehand. Now, another forehand. He's screaming. Backhand Alcaraz into the high part of the net. Dan Evans forces a deuce here. Super sharp angle. Yeah, it was. My previous comment is extended is not the same. So no worries, buddy. No worries. I just like the creativity that you're showing with the poetic words. Alcaraz era, says Alexander. All right, it's a deuce, though. And so Alcaraz yet to consolidate this break. Alcaraz bouncing the ball. First serve is a let. Another one on the way. Well, the coffee has definitely helped from my yawning. I don't think I've yawned once. Anyone counting my statistics in this set? I know in the second and third set, my yawns were at least I had about 20 or 25 combined. First serve this time is long, so 117 miles an hour, but just long. Second serve on the way. Okay. Oh, Alcaraz with a beautiful backhand up the line, but Dan Evans with a defensive lob, and it's just long, about 4 feet. Okay. Okay, Alcaraz with an inside-out forehand after the rally has begun. Now forehand Dan Evans, forehand Alcaraz up the line, backhand slice Evans, backhand Alcaraz, backhand slice Evans, backhand Alcaraz over the top and wide, back to deuce. Let's see. Check out last two lines in a huge paragraph. I extended it. I mean, yeah, I know what you mean. The last one was just like the last lines of the original. I got you. Don't you worry. I'd say I've had probably 10 hours sleep in total this week. Been working a lot, Sams, or just been watching all the U.S. Open because it's in the middle of the night for you? I'm guessing that's probably it. Great forehand up the line. Totally wrong-footed Alcaraz. Love the tenacity of Evans. If you go down, then go down fighting regardless of whom you're playing. No other way. Good stuff. Here we go. Forehand. Forehand. Alcaraz serving at deuce. First serve into the net. McDavid's speed and skill unmatched. McKinnon comes close. Bedard, real exciting. I hear his shot is amazing. McDavid's speed is scary good. Yeah, McDavid. So here's the thing. It's another let here. As good, as fast as McDavid is, like everyone was like, okay, when this guy comes into the league, he's fast, and he's got skills. Bedard, he's been known already to have an NHL shot, and that was since last year when he was 17. A good second serve, block back. Alcaraz with a drop shot off of it, and it's a beauty. Dan Evans get to that, and Alcaraz rips a backhand up the line for the winner. Man, the drop shots are phenomenal, unbelievable. And they're not all winners. He either gets winners or he sets up the next point. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Bedard does. I really, I mean, we don't know, right? We never know, but he's got the label of one of the potential goats. The tennis starts when I get home from work and then on all night. That's how it is for me during AO. Not as much, well, half for AO, but more for French and Wimby. So there you go. M's up all night watching tennis. Adrian is like some forever tennis expert, says Snail. Second serve Alcaraz. And backhand from Evans. Backhand Alcaraz. Backhand Evans. Backhand Alcaraz. Oh, his racket hits the ground there. Forehand. And then Alcaraz pounces on that cross-court forehand from Evans and rips a forehand up the line. And he consolidates. He's up 5-2. And now Alcaraz a game away from a spot in the round of 16 as Jimmy Buckets, his buddy from the Miami Heat, looks on.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
Todd saying, as you know, Covey, West Coast time is an excellent time zone to catch the U.S. Open. By far the best, because when they play until 2 in the morning, it's only 11 p.m. and then you still have time to grab a beer with your buddies before you go to sleep. Definitely in the ideal time. However, and also any of like, Indian Wells and anything in the States, really, Miami, Cincinnati, all those places. But we definitely get screwed over when it comes to Wimbledon. Like the Wimbledon final always starts at like 2:30 or 4, 3 or 4 in the morning for me. I won overs on your yawn, so you want my address to send the free merch. No, you got to go to your sports book, buddy. I'm not the sports book. I'm just the guy that you bet on. Alcaraz all the way, says Alexander. Okay. Alcaraz just slipping and sliding all over the court. They're showing the replay of that incredible breaking pass, the break shot, the passing shot that broke Dan Evans in the 6th game. All right. Actually, no, I'll keep it backwards so you can see my lovely eyes. All right, Dan Evans serving now 2-5 to stay in the tournament. Alcaraz 4 points away from a date with Matteo Arnaldi. And folks, if you haven't done so, I know the goal was 100 likes, but we only have about 55 people in. But we do have 47 likes. If you could help me get to 50, I would really appreciate it. And also, if you're new, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and thank you for your support, whether or not you smash that like. But definitely fun to watch tennis with all of you. Here we go. First point. Dan Evans up 15-love, makes his way to the net, puts it away easy. Good serve, backhand return. Ooh, right to Evans' feet, but he scoops that up. And then Alcaraz with his return +1 as it was a mid-court ball, and he goes forehand, cross-court, Ripski. Has rain been a factor at the U.S. Open? Not yet. Every single day, all the matches have been completed so far in this tournament, unlike the French and Wimbledon, which was just havoc for the first week on both of them. Is just a regular tennis fan, Adrian, and a fan of Game to Love Tennis podcast. Well, you know your stuff, buddy, and really appreciate all of your contributions. Not only you, but to everyone in the chat. It's been an awesome day in the chat. Everyone here knows their stuff and is having a good time. Good ace up the tee from Dan Evans, and it's 30-15. He does not want to leave New York, having too much fun in the Big Apple, apparently. I'm having fun here, too. This coffee's jacked me up all of a sudden. My boy Kevin's got the over on my yawns. Gonna get a fan from Sky Bet. Oh, Dan Evans. He gets lured in with a drop, and then Alcaraz chases that in, and then Dan Evans tries to pass him, but Alcaraz sticks his racket out, and it's like a hockey goalie, just little boom. There's a kick save and a beauty, or a stick save and a beauty. Yeah, boom. 30-all. Alcaraz now 2 points away. Will Alcaraz see a match point in this game? First serve into the net. Oh, beautiful second serve. 120. No, sorry. 108. I was going to say. It said 126, but it changed. 108-mile-an-hour second serve, but that had extra juice on it. So it is now game point. Evans, he does not want to end here. I wouldn't either if I was him. At this point, says Todd, even if rain arrives, the roofed courts will keep tournament on schedule. Yeah, for sure. Singles won't be affected anymore into the second week. Evans is like a fly. He won't go away easily. What game is next for you? I'm not sure, but tomorrow I think there's a whole bunch of matches. I actually have friends playing in a tournament that I have to go. Ooh, Alcaraz rips a winner off the second serve, and it's not over yet. Still into this game. We're at deuce. Just a Ripski there. So, okay, tomorrow we've got Paul and Shelton at 9 a.m. We got Hijikata Tiafo at 11. These are all my time. Stricker Fritz at 1. Goyo and Novak in the night match at 4. Kasatkina, Muchova, Wang, Kristea Bencic, Wozniacki, Goff, Swiatek, Ostapenko. I'm going to try and do one of the night matches, either Novak maybe or Ostapenko and Iga. Or potentially maybe Wozniacki Goff if possible. I'm going to have to figure out my schedule because I got to go watch my buddies. And the place where I'm going to go watch my buddies play in this tournament is like a 40-minute drive, which is kind of a bummer. It's in this place called South Surrey, which is pretty far away. Dan Evans holds as Alcaraz hits a shank on the second serve. Boom.
It's an evolution. Talking about Dan Evans forever and ever.
All right, Alcaraz about to serve it out. So to answer your question, Alexander, I don't know just yet. I just realized I didn't give you an actual answer, but hoping to probably do a night match as I have to go during the day. Second serve ace for Alcaraz as Dan Evans tried to trick him and kind of charge almost on the serve, but Alcaraz went out wide. Wow, amazing speed and touch from Alcaraz, not for the first time. Come on, Dan, make him serve it out. You got your wish. Carlos saying vamos means danger for his foes. They better be on their toes. He even destroys pros for hitting incredible winners. Off he goes. He gets the fruits of the seeds he sows. He's getting real. There you go. Scary as he goes. Grows. Scary as he grows. Got you. Another one. Snehill's become a Covey. Alcaraz, 30 love, 2 points away from a date with Matteo Arnaldi. Maybe Novak actually gets a 3-setter. Well, he had 3 setters in his first couple matches. Then he had a 5 yesterday. I got my wish. Evans took a set. He put up a good effort for sure. I'm assuming Evans has out-aced Alcaraz in this match, something I imagine Alcaraz will get over pretty quickly. If so, it is hold on. It is 8-6 aces for Dan Evans, and it is now triple match point for Alcaraz.
Match point.
But Evans has served well in general, considering he doesn't have a particularly huge serve to fall back on. Yeah, and some really gutsy second serves that he's hit. All right, match point. First serve is out. Folks, can we get to 50 likes? We're at 48, and this match is just about to end. If you feel like helping me get there, I would really, really appreciate it. Good serve, chop back return, forehand Alcaraz up the line. Backhand is a short ball. Alcaraz rips a cross-court forehand winner, and there it is, 6-2, 6-3, 4-6, 6-3. Alcaraz, and a nice handshake between Dan Evans and Carlos Alcaraz. Yet to lose a completed match in his life at the U.S. Open. He did lose 2 years ago to Felix after pulling out due to injury. However, still undefeated in completed matches. So the world number 1 is on to the round of 16. He's been there last year as well, as he won the whole thing. Can't believe I actually came up with this poem. We got Todd. Thanks, Covey, and everyone. Enjoy the matches. You too, buddy. Thank you for all of your contribution today. Lots of fun chatting with you, as well as everyone else. Ems, Kevin, Peter, Gene, Snehill, Todd. Hopefully I'm not missing anyone. Alexander. I'm happy to say I have a guy in Vancouver that's in the know on Connor Bedard. You got it, buddy. Anytime you got a question or whatever, Kev, I'll do my best to give you an accurate answer. Happy Alexander says yes. All right, folks, let's give it up for Alcaraz on a button. We'll come back, wrap it up. Alcaraz into the round of 16. We'll face Matteo Arnaldi in a couple days' time.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
Okay, so that does it. 6-2, 6-3, 4-6, 6-3. Alcaraz takes it. Snehill saying today's highlights were the poems. Thanks, Covey. Later. He was the one who wrote the poem. So tooting his own horn, but he did a really good job. All right, folks, that will do it for me. Thank you so much for joining me. It was really, really fun to watch this match with you. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or maybe night, depending on where you are. And I'm going to go enjoy the day here in Vancouver. Once again, thank you all very much. My name is Covey from Vancouver, and I'll see you real soon. Peace.